right now they're showing footage of Dana White just walked in with Donald Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, and excuse me, I do not have the sound on, so I can't really hear the crowd reaction. Let's see if I can get that to work. How are you guys enjoying the UFC fights thus far? I'll be honest with you, I just tuned in to catch the last part of the undercard, the prelim fights, but I really wasn't interested in any of the early prelims or the prelims, so that's why I'm choosing to tune in right about now when the main event is, or the main card is supposed to start in at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, and we also have, it looks like Donald Trump's son and Robert Kennedy Jr. in the arena at MSG. So let me see if I can get the sound here. I'm not sure what's going on with this, but in any case, I do see more than a few people in the audience clapping, so I'm assuming that President-elect Trump and Robert Kennedy Jr. are getting applauded. Did you guys watch any of the undercard? How's it going? Let's see. The last fight on the prelims looked decent, but as I didn't really watch it like intently. It's just sort of on in the background. How are you guys doing tonight? Which fights are you looking forward to on this UFC 309 card? Who do you guys have in the main event? Do you have Jon Jones or Stipe? Hello, how are you, Morningstar? How are you, CLFL? How are you? Sorry, I can't say your name. Is it Binal? Binat? Binatu? Hello, TP. Hello, Jonathan. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, right now, UFC 309, they're on a commercial break, so we're just sort of waiting around. Who do you guys have, Stipe or Jon Jones? Good morning, good evening to you as well, Morningstar. Oh, TP says Jones. Hello, 46. Hi, Gummy. Hello. Yeah, okay, so far we've got a couple of votes for Jones. Pravan. Sorry, I don't speak that language. I only speak English and French. And I can't read Korean. Morningstar, I am from the United States of America, by way of Canada. Okay, so again, we're on a commercial break. So they're just showing footage of Jon Jones' previous fights. Justin, hi, how are you doing? All right, they're showing Jon Jones highlights from his career at light heavyweight and then his highlight versus, Cyril Gane at heavyweight. Justin, hi, how are you? Who do I want to win? I'm rooting for Stipe, but I think Jon will win. I did post a breakdown of that. You guys can check that out later if you want, or even now if you got more than one screen available to you. Okay, so Mr. Cracky, yeah, we're just keeping this stream about fighting, not politics, so, or jokes, so not sure where you're going with that, but anyways. Yeah, John, we're keeping this non-political. I just mentioned the fact that Dana White was walking Trump and Robert Kennedy Jr. in, but it's not about politics. No worries. Thanks. Taylor says, I love your videos. I appreciate that very much, Taylor. Maybe you might want to consider joining as a member. That way you get early access to all the breakdowns. I'll see your comments first and then definitely be able to reply. Mr. Crack, not sure exactly what you're getting at about John Jones, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to bet against John Jones just because he's so athletic and he's got great striking and great grappling. Okay, so now they're just showing us footage of New York City at night. Lovely. They're showing, of course, Brooklyn Bridge, Rockefeller Center with the Christmas tree. Showing us Madison Square Garden lit up. And now we're cutting back to the cage. Of course, they're playing up the main event. Stipe versus John Jones. And we're just waiting in that sort of dead time between the preliminaries and the main card. John Smith, you play pro hockey? Very cool. Where do you play hockey? Ivan, sorry, I can't read Cyrillic alphabet, but good to see you. I appreciate you. Now, John Anik just dropped the GOAT title again on John Jones. I posted a video about, I don't really consider John Jones the greatest MMA fighter of all time. I mean, I think there's people like Fedor Emelianenko, Royce Gracie. How do you argue against them? I mean, we could say John Jones is the greatest right now, but I don't know about being greatest of all time. So it looks like John Anik, Joe Rogan, and Daniel Cormier will be doing the commentary. So it's kind of like the all-star team on the cage side for commentary tonight, which is to be expected. Makes sense. Ivan, do you speak any English, or can you type in English at all? It'd be cool to know what you want to communicate with us. Suzerain telling us Francis Ngannou versus John Jones. Who do I think? Oh, that's the fight everybody wanted, right? And unfortunately, it didn't happen. I mean, I think that fight would be tougher for John, but I still see, John being able to get to Francis. John would have to work his butt off and not do anything, like do any of his extracurricular activities, but I think he could prevail over Francis. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, and it doesn't mean Francis doesn't have a chance, but in any case. Hello, Suzerain. Good to see you. Who's this? Fred? Okay. Take your time, Fred. Jonathan? That's a great fight, yeah. If we're talking Francis versus John Jones, that would be a great fight. Okay, UFC is still showing us more footage of John Jones highlights again. Not sure how long they're going to keep running this prelim stuff. And then they're cutting to Stipe, showing Stipe's highlights. Knocking guys out with his 1-2, jab right hand, or his left hook. Terrific right hand, Stipe. Suzerain says, how would I rank Francis skill-wise? Is he like the Deontay of MMA? That's funny. Because I think Francis actually has much better fundamentals than Deontay. Deontay has really bad fundamentals. I've broken that down, I think a while back, actually, after Deontay fought Joseph Parker, if you want to hear sort of more detail of what I think of Deontay Wilder and his lack of fundamentals. But no, Francis has much better fundamentals, and I mean, not to compare physiques, but if you look at Francis' physique, he's much more balanced, upper body to lower body. Deontay's all upper body, zero lower body. And that translates to just Francis being able to be more athletic. Because we generate power from the ground up, and you're only strong as your weakest link. So if we look at the chain, as we call it, posterior chain, from the floor to up your legs, your hips, your back, out your arms. If you're only strong as the weakest link, then and your lower body's weak, then it doesn't really matter how much power you have upstairs. All right, KT, can I give you tips? No, I can't give you tips. This is a fight channel. This is what we're devoted to right here. So if you want to talk about fights, that's cool. But if you don't, then maybe there's another live you can jump on. All right. So now they're showing us footage for Oliveira Chandler, trying to hype that up. Who do you guys have in that match? Do you think Oliveira will get the W again? Do you think he'll knock out Mike Chandler? Or do you think Chandler's going to KO Oliveira? I mean, that's the interesting thing with Chandler. He's such a one-punch knockout, one-strike knockout kind of guy that I think he could do it, but he's a risk-reward type fighter, so it takes a big risk to land that big, huge shot. Hello, Sean. How are you doing? Suzerain, top 5 MMA guys. Wow. You mean like of all time? I think certainly Fedor Emelianenko. There's no way we can leave Royce Gracie off that list. I've got Georges St. Pierre and Sakuraba. Now, if we want to go way back, I mean, do we count Kimura? Now that, I mean, they've named that joint lock for him. Current top 5. Okay, great question. Well, John Jones for sure. That's a great question. I'd have to think about that. I think Charles is still up there. Charles Oliveira, that is. Sean is saying Oliveira wins. Yeah, I'm rooting for Oliveira for sure. Something about Michael Chandler, he just kind of turns me off, just personality-wise. It has nothing to do with him as a fighter, but I just feel like he's way too scripted. You know, he always speaks in sound bites. So I'm wondering, when do we ever get the real Michael Chandler? Is Francis in top 5? That's a great question. I have to think about that a little bit more, Suzerain. It's hard to measure somebody, as I say, you know, unless they fight a tough opponent, right? So unfortunately, we didn't get Francis versus John, so we don't have that sort of measuring stick. You know, Demetrius Johnson, well, he's not fighting anymore, but I would definitely put him up there. You know, you can't just always go with the heavyweights. You gotta look at some of the lighter weight fighters too. I mean, I don't know if you want to count Amanda Nunes. I don't know if she's gonna stay retired, but I think she deserves to be up, you know, in a top list, top whatever, top 5, top 10. Yes, Suzerain is mentioning that Francis fought Stipe. Yeah, I mean, you got to give tons of props to Ngannou for, you know, coming back from that loss to Stipe and then knocking him out. He just completely dominated him in the first round. I think he really hurt Stipe and then just took him out in the second. And that is a concern for me as Stipe comes into this fight, is just, you know, how much damage did he sustain from that fight? And how did that affect him? How has that affected him over the last few years? Has it affected him in his training, mentally, all of the above? Oh, camera's cutting to Frankie Edgar in the audience. Oh, and Jelly Rolls in the audience. RFK Jr. It's interesting, he has on sort of this lighter blue jacket and a navy blue tie. Of course, President-elect Donald Trump is sitting next to none other than Elon Musk and, I don't know, it looks like some musician who's just all covered up with a hat and sunglasses. I can't tell who that is. Okay. Suzerain is saying, how do I know if a fight damages a fighter or if it's just a normal loss? Well, I would say for sure Stipe was concussed in that fight. He took a big head kick, took some big shots from Ngannou. Fighters don't want to talk about it, don't want to admit it, but you know, you're not going to feel good if even if you have a mild concussion, you are not going to feel good the next couple of days. You're going to feel, you're just going to need to rest, which is what you should do. Even with a mild concussion, say from football, it doesn't even have to be from fighting. You need to let your brain rest for at least a week. So it means you shouldn't, not only should you not take any more impact, you shouldn't play video games because of all the sort of overstimulation of the brain. You shouldn't go out to a nightclub with all these flashing lights and music. You shouldn't go to a casino with all the noise and the lights and the machines, because literally you do have to allow your brain to rest. So, Susan, I guess my answer to that is you're better off assuming that a fighter, after they fight, has at least gotten a mild concussion, unless they just didn't get hit at all and play it safe. Oh, okay, thank you. Sam is telling me it's Kid Rock. Okay, cool. Yeah, I couldn't recognize who that was in the quick shot they took. Susan saying, oh, I thought video games would be relaxing. Yeah, I know a lot of people like to relax with video games, but the problem is that overstimulation, visually and sound-wise. NZ Gamer Clips. If I lived in Vegas in the 40s, they would have locked you up in an internment camp. Well, I'm not sure why you're bringing that up. Yes, I'm Japanese-Canadian, Japanese-American, so although you're stating facts, Mr. NZ Gamer Clips, let's keep the comments kind. Guillermo is saying Brazil, so Guillermo, I assume you're rooting for Charles Oliveira. All right, now we're up to the first of the main card. We have James LLONTOP or LLONTOP. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry. Fighting out of Lima, Peru. He's making his way to the cage. Suzerain saying, make me think of the Joshua KO versus Dubois. Yeah, well, for sure Joshua suffered a concussion there. Omar, good evening. Yes, hi, how are you? NZ Gamer, I'm not sure what you're doing here, but we're here to talk about the UFC 309 card. All right. Fighters getting... James is... Someone tell me how to say this, but James is getting greased up by the cut man at the moment. Suzerain is asking me, do I think Joshua is shot? Yeah. He may not be shot as badly as Deontay, who happens to be in the audience for this fight, by the way. But yeah, he's... I hate to say it, but he doesn't need to continue to do this. I've advocated for both fighters to just do a farewell fight. They both have enough money. They could even set up their own farewell fight with all their friends and family and have it just be an event where they, walk away the victor, defeat some guy who's not, it can't be like a world title fight, but just defeat some guy and walk away on a high note. Omar's asking, did I catch the boxing bouts on DAZN? No, I did not. Sam Mason is asking, am I a fan of Kevin Holland? You know what? I really like his personality. I'm curious. I respect him in terms of his sort of creativity. I'm wondering if going down to that weight division has helped him or hurt him. What do you think, Sam? What do you think about Kevin Holland? Do you think he should go back up in weight? Sean is saying Joshua was just too robotic. Well, Sean, check out my breakdown of Joshua and why he's got, or not why he's got bad fundamentals, but my breakdown of his bad fundamentals. I think both he and Deontay suffered from success early on, just generating a power by turning their upper body to get, their jab and the right hand going, and they never bothered working on their footwork. They both have horrendous footwork. If you're an aspiring boxer, you definitely don't want to watch Joshua or Deontay, or you don't want to copy what they do with their feet, because it's all wrong. It's not coordinated. Their feet are too wide. They're not balanced well. They're not on the balls of their feet properly. Scissorin saying, oh, Sean is saying Josh is just a little too robotic. Absolutely. Scissorin saying, do I think they will take my advice? No, I don't think they'll take my advice. Some Rex, is that Rex boy? Hawaii, Honolulu. Cool. Welcome from Hawaii. Susan saying, can they fix fundamentals before next fight? No. Deontay should not fight anymore. For sure, he's shot. He took way too much punishment versus Parker. And then he got really badly damaged versus Zhang, so he should just walk away. Sean is saying, it's a black man power, too much, black man curse, too much power. Well, you know what, here's the thing though. A trainer who knew what they were seeing back then would have just gotten on both of those guys' case and said, look, I know you're knocking guys out, but we got to deal with this. We got to address this. We got to get these basics down. And if they had done that early on in either man's career, like while they were amateurs, it wouldn't have devolved to where it is right now. Omar, Zerto, great against CBS. Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting matchup. I haven't done enough research on CBS to make a comment on that, but I will do my research and do a breakdown on that. Sean, Wilder was done after Fury trilogy. Yes, we could agree that maybe he was even done after the second one, right? Where he fired Mark Breland for saving his life. Sam Mason had Jake Paul versus Francis. Francis annihilate him. Yeah, hi Corey. We're here to talk about boxing, not boxing, or the UFC 309, which is on right now. Okay, so we're about to start with Maurício RUFFY from Brazil versus this other fellow from Peru. Okay. All right. So guys, we're here to talk about UFC 309. You can keep the off-color comments to yourself or find another live that throw your comments on that. But basically, we're here to talk about boxing. So if you're a boxing or UFC fan, feel free to stay and ask questions or comment on what you're watching. Suzerain, yes, I'm basically saying it is too late. I mean, it would just take so much work for a trainer to rework Anthony Joshua. And it would take an incredible amount of humility on his part. I don't know if he has the desire to humble himself to that, go back to basics. Sean James is saying, do I think Jones would take Casimiro fight to reach Alex? No, he's already said he doesn't want to fight Tom for whatever. He claims that Tom does nothing for him, and he just wants to go after Pereira, which means, I don't know. I guess he thinks Pereira will want to fight him. Astana, we're here to talk about UFC 309 or boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez. I don't know what you're saying, what that is an answer to, but anyways. Taylor Serrano, great fight, yes. Jonathan saying he thought Serrano won. Yeah, I think a lot of people felt she got robbed. Unfortunately, my stream was really crappy about halfway through that fight, so I'm hoping I can see the whole fight and then do a post-fight breakdown. What do I think of Big Baby? Not Miller. So, Anderson? He's done. He got annihilated by Martin Bacoli. He just got completely exposed. So, if you're talking about Jared, was it Jared Miller? No, Jared Anderson, rather? Okay. Do I know Akina Nakamori? No, I don't. Oh, so Ace Wolf is saying best overall boxer ever, Julio Cesar Chavez. Well, one of the most accomplished, awesome bodywork. I don't know. If we're going to talk of all time, I mean, I would say Sugar Ray Robinson. Omar, did I get your email? I haven't checked my email at all today. But I will. So I'm going to assume you use Omar in your username. So I will check for it. Maybe if not tonight, maybe tomorrow, Omar. So the switch. We're in the present moment. We are talking about UFC309. Right now, the fight between RUFFY from Brazil and LLONTOP from Peru is on, and both men are facing each other with strikes. LLONTOP is fighting out of orthodox stance, and RUFFY is also fighting out of an orthodox stance, although both men seem comfortable switching. Do I remember Diego Corrales? Yeah, incredible heart. Can Anderson improve since he's young? He could, but the thing is, I think his ego is his mindset is not right. Hi, whoever's from South Korea. All right, so RUFFY just missed with a big overhand punch. LLONTOP's going for some low leg kicks. He's kind of rushing in as he throws his punches. Not the most sophisticated striking. RUFFY's coming back with low calf kicks. Now RUFFY's in orthodox, LLONTOP's in southpaw, but switching back and forth from righty to lefty. Both guys are. Again, LLONTOP misses as a big overhand right. Neither man seems to be a terribly sophisticated striker. Both guys kind of are staying upright. LLONTOP's really keeping his chin very projected, keeping an upright torso. LLONTOP just landed a nice hook on RUFFY. RUFFY lands a straight right, a nice jab. The thing with LLONTOP is he suffers from the Anthony Joshua thing of not really coordinating his stepping motions with his punches. He keeps switching stances back and forth, so that might be part of it. LLONTOP tying for a T, again with a big 1-2 as he walks in. Goes for a body kick, doesn't connect. LLONTOP is kind of reaching. Or no, I mean RUFFY's kind of reaching a little bit. Tried to catch LLONTOP coming in with a check hook. RUFFY tends to it looks like he's fighting with his hands down low. He's kind of a long, lean build. So to a certain extent, he can get away with that. You like Cheryl Bullet? Oh yeah, he's an interesting fighter. Did I watch Meldrick Taylor versus Chavez? No, I've only seen the replay. All times maybe Fedor. Yeah, it's hard to not argue for Fedor. Someone's saying Sean is saying not good for RUFFY. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, LLONTOP is really overextending on his punches, and he's leaving himself wide open. Here comes RUFFY with a counter right hand. Tries a spinning kick. Not sure why he decided to do that. We got less than 30 seconds left in this round. LLONTOP tries for a body shot. Looks like RUFFY blocked it. Comes back with a slip to an elbow. LLONTOP still throwing calf kicks and a teep, which RUFFY catches. Oh, RUFFY tries a spinning back kick. Again, does the check hook as LLONTOP rushes in. And that's the round. How can I, Jonathan is saying, how can he pronounce my name properly? It's D. Hamaguchi. The switch is saying, low kicks are doing the work. Yeah, I said Anthony Joshua syndrome, where you don't coordinate your step with your punch. Z Sauce, can I fight? Well, you can check out my fights on my channel and decide for yourself. Not being sarcastic, just saying, hey, there's the actual evidence. Better than me just talking about it, right? Sean is saying, who gets round one? That's a tough one to call. I mean, I'm going to go with RUFFY. I'm a little bit biased because I will take the person with the better striking technique, but I do think he landed, a couple more significant shots than LLONTOP's shots. Pretty wild. Suzerain, Daniel Cormier, all-time great. No. Z Sauce, my prediction on John Jones versus Stipe is though I'm rooting for Stipe, I think John is going to get this one done. All right, here we have RUFFY opening up right away with a low calf kick. LLONTOP is doing the right thing by throwing jabs, but he's a little bit too far away to connect. Well, I appreciate RUFFY's creativity in trying these like spinning movements. I kind of wish he would stick to basics until he really breaks LLONTOP down before he tries anything that's super high risk. Oh, RUFFY connects with a nice jab. Kind of knocks LLONTOP's head back a bit. Goes for a spinning back fist. Doesn't quite connect. LLONTOP's trying to hammer fist, which is kind of an interesting choice. Goes for a jab to the head, jab to the body. Doesn't connect. 1-2, doesn't connect. LLONTOP switches to lefty stance, tries a kick. Doesn't connect. Now he's kind of pressured RUFFY towards the cage. RUFFY's still keeping his hands very low. Z-Sauce, do I believe Jones is scared of Aspinall? I think he realizes he would have to work his butt off to fight Aspinall, because Aspinall is just so well-rounded. Oh! RUFFY comes in with a nice body shot. Left body shot. Looks like this could be it. Drops. LLONTOP coming back with the ground and pound. And LLONTOP is trying to... Oh, LLONTOP, to his credit, gets up. Gets an underhook. RUFFY has the wizard grip. But LLONTOP's got RUFFY with RUFFY's back to the cage. So amazing. That was almost it. But LLONTOP managed to get up. Good for him. LLONTOP's throwing right body kick. Oh! But RUFFY comes back with a nice straight right. Again, I don't really like that RUFFY fights with his hands down by his waist, but... Again, LLONTOP trying to just walk in and throw punches. Hammer fist, yeah. Sean James probably wouldn't last much longer. Hello, the boxing... What does that say? I can't read it. Sorry. Oh, nice. Set up to a right hand by RUFFY. 2 minutes left in this round still, so let's see if LLONTOP gets a second wind. Tries a punch to a high kick. LLONTOP now keeps switching back from southpaw to orthodox. Goes for a calf kick again. I think RUFFY's now got a read on LLONTOP though, because LLONTOP's striking is just a little bit awkward. His rhythm is a little odd, and he's just not coordinating his footwork and his punches. Oh, RUFFY again connects with a hard right hand. And again, RUFFY's fighting with his Hands right down by his waist. Oh, Z-Sauce, thanks for checking out my videos. I appreciate that. Jason, here to talk about UFC 309 or boxing. To his credit, LLONTOP is not stopping. He's continuing to try to throw left hook, right hand, he's back down his jab, shoots in for a takedown, misses, comes back right upstairs with the right hand. But right now he's bleeding. I can't tell where that cut is. It looks like he's gonna, oh my goodness. LLONTOP has a big mouse forming under his left eye. He's missing wildly with his left hook. RUFFY, I think, is remaining poised, is parrying LLONTOP's punches, which are starting to get a little wilder now. RUFFY parries and slips. RUFFY misses with a shot. LLONTOP tries for a single. Doesn't work. Again, RUFFY connects with a big right hand. LLONTOP's trying to counter with a hook. Keeps switching stances. I don't think the constant stance switching is helping LLONTOP at all. LLONTOP is super tough, it seems. Yes, Sam, I would tend to agree with you. He is definitely super tough. Man, I hope his cut man can get that mouse under his left eye. He's got to get that swelling down. He's got to take that end swell and just iron the heck out of it, which hurts like anything, but it's got to be done. Yeah, that's from RUFFY's beautiful straight right hands. Z-Sauce. Yeah, I'm not a Z-Sauce. I'm not a hit woman or whatever. If she weighs 102 pounds to 105 pounds and she wants a sanctioned boxing fight, we could do that. Alright, so cutmen, here's my main complaint about cutmen in the UFC. They don't know how to bring down swelling, and they don't. So this kid's eye is going to swell up. It's almost, his eye's almost shut right now. The cutman just wiping his face and putting grease on it. Like I said, he needs to take that metal end swell and like bear down on it. It hurts like anything. He's got to grab the back of the kid's head and just ram that end swell in. This kid's eye, he's done. His eye is closed as he's walking to the center of the cage. So that cutman was useless. Oh well. Sean, desperation. Yeah, this sucks for LLONTOP because his left eye is practically closed. It's gonna close as soon as this resumes because his heart rate's gonna go up, blood's gonna start circulating, and they might stop this because he's not gonna be able to see out of his left eye, or RUFFY is going to be able to take advantage of the fact that he's blind on his left side now and just pick him apart by throwing shots to the left side of LLONTOP's head. Or a kick. Okay, again, LLONTOP coming in with a big reaching right, like body kick. And I think RUFFY knows he just has to kind of pick his shots. Evades LLONTOP. LLONTOP looks like he's trying to go for a single, but misses. He's got RUFFY pressed up against the cage. Looks like he's trying to do some foot stomping. RUFFY switches the position. The men are both still in a clinch. Now they break apart and they're back at center cage. Okay, RUFFY's just... To his credit, LLONTOP's not stopping. RUFFY's just, I think, biding his time, evading LLONTOP's punches. LLONTOP's applying pressures, got RUFFY towards the cage, but RUFFY circles out. Again, LLONTOP's coming with just a lead straight right. I think RUFFY needs to pick it up a little bit because he doesn't want to let LLONTOP back into this fight. Now LLONTOP has RUFFY pressed against the cage. He's trying to use that shoulder move as a weapon. LLONTOP has one underhook. RUFFY has one underhook. LLONTOP's just trying for the knee, shoulder. RUFFY's trying to maneuver him around. Now the men are off the cage. Back more towards the center of the cage. Oh, big overhand right for RUFFY. To his credit, again, LLONTOP still continuing to jab through a head kick and march forward, but RUFFY's just kind of waiting and throwing counter shots. Okay, RUFFY just missed with a big overhand right. LLONTOP's coming in with a jab right to the body. Kind of got RUFFY up against the cage again, but RUFFY's just moving laterally to get around, and now he circles out. Again, RUFFY comes with a counter right hand. I do feel like RUFFY ought to pick the pace up just a little bit. Okay, good solid jab lands for RUFFY, then a good solid right hand. Again, back to the jab. We have a little over 2 minutes remaining in this round. Again, RUFFY lands the jab. LLONTOP continues to throw strikes and body kicks. Managed to slip, goes in for a single, switches to clinch, tries to press RUFFY up against the cage. Now they circle off the cage, back to center cage. Again, LLONTOP tries to shoot in, doesn't get it, comes back upstairs. Sean says, I hope his coach helps him buy time. Again, LLONTOP walking in with punches, throws an elbow. He's got RUFFY again against the cage. One underhook. He's trying foot stomps, his shoulder shoves. A little bit over a minute left. LLONTOP looks like he's trying to go for a body lock, but doesn't really have the arm position, so he's just throwing single shots where he can to RUFFY's head and his leg, using his head to apply pressure to RUFFY's head. Now he opens up and throws a flurry of hooks to the head. Doesn't seem to have much effect on RUFFY. All right, back to center cage. LLONTOP throws a kick. I don't know what RUFFY's doing. He's doing some odd movements here, but he should just stick to basics and get his jab going and pick LLONTOP off. I mean, LLONTOP's really making this fight. And I'm not sure why RUFFY's so inactive now. Just 30 seconds left. Sean, what did you miss? Nothing this last round. I think it's mostly LLONTOP's activity. Not effective as maybe hopeful. RUFFY just did a nice slip counter left hook move. Now we got less than 10. Again, RUFFY's got nice slip and counter moves, but I really wish he had picked up the pace from the outset of this round. Okay, both men bow, give each other a pound, and props to LLONTOP for making it through the round, because I thought that I was going to close up on him. Sean. Yeah, RUFFY has the big advantage. I don't know why he was as inactive as he was. Now he's like sitting on top of the cage, talking down to like Dana White and I guess other people cage side. Now they're cutting to Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Best of buddies. Sean is saying you would be proud of that win. I mean, I really feel like RUFFY should have picked up the action in that last round, since it's obvious to everybody that LLONTOP was hurt. Oh, my bad. I said he dropped him with a body shot. It was a left uppercut. It was a slip left uppercut. Beautiful move. Yeah, RUFFY has some very slick moves. He just needs to be a little more active. Because I think he had the opportunity to finish his opponent, but he didn't really go for it. All right, who do you guys think won? I think we give that to RUFFY, but, judges are funny, as we say. I think RUFFY definitely had the more effective, inflicted the more effective damage. LLONTOP was tough as nails. And the big loser in this is LLONTOP's cut man, because he didn't know how to bring down the swelling under his eye. And they give it Mauricio RUFFY, 29-28 across the board. I guess he's one of those fighting nerds because he's got glasses with a piece of tape on it. Hard-fought fight by LLONTOP. LLONTOP looks a little fluffy, as they say, so I'm not sure what's up with his nutrition and his strength training, but he could do better if he lost some of the body fat, just because it's not helpful to have to carry around mass that's not serving any purpose, and body fat definitely doesn't serve any purpose. Yeah, Sam saying fun match to watch. I see LLONTOP getting better after this fight. Yeah, well, hopefully he understands he's got to work on his defense and coordinating his strikes so that they can be more effective. Rex Boy is saying Von Elliman. I'm not sure what you're referring to. El Chupacabra. Hello from Chicago. Hi from San Diego. Coronado, to be specific. Sean James says, peace, Chicago. Cool. Okay, Mauricio RUFFY doing a little evangelizing in the cage. No, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Joe Rogan, of course, doing the in-cage interview. Sean, I don't know about the body fat helping cardio recovery. I mean, it's going to take more cardio to move that extra weight around. You don't have to be like as lean as a bodybuilder, but you want to lean out so that you know, the body mass you're taking in there is all functional, and belly fat is just not functional. Rex Boy, yeah, Mike Tyson fight was fake. I mean, it's interesting to me that like older generations, like millennials and above, like don't spend their entire life on social media, but I think like all the Gen Zers, and at least all the Gen Alpha people I spoke to, could see right through it. They were like, oh, before the fight, they're like, it's all scripted, because they're so used to sussing out people like with fake beef, trying to create views and whatnot, that they can smell out something that's staged. And so if you ask Gen Alpha, they all knew that Mike Tyson event, I'm not going to call it a fight, they knew the Mike Tyson event was 100% staged. El Chupabara, did I say that right? Say you're fine, cool, and 60, nice. Okay. So we're cutting away. They're announcing Dana White's 16 days of giveaways. That'll be interesting. So, not sure what he's planning to give away, but okay. So now we have the cutting to change room of Vivianne Araujo playing touch shoulders with her training partner or coach or something, and her opponent, Karine Silva from Brazil, doing mitts with her coach, wearing the headphones. All right. Sean is saying he can respect Jake for not knocking out Tyson. Yeah, the whole thing was just odd. I don't know if there's a tacit or just understanding before the whole thing that no one's gonna get knocked out, and I don't know, but it just didn't feel like a real fight to me. Um, Certainly the way Mike Tyson carried himself on the ring walk and in the ring at before, he just didn't look activated as if he was gonna try to inflict damage on anybody. All right, Chupavera, are you checking out, or are you just saying hi? I'm not sure what cheers means, but it was good meeting you. If you're still here, cool. If you're not, hope to see you again soon. All right, now we're on a commercial break, so they're just cutting to some really nice nighttime footage of New York City. Not sure if that's, I think that might be Park Avenue. Any case. Sean is saying, join the party, Chuba. Oh yeah, so now they're just announcing all the sponsors of UFC, doing a little promo. And now they're cutting the footage of John Jones walking in. Just wearing his UFC track jacket. He looks pretty low key. Max is saying, oh, look, Max, we're just here to talk about UFC 309 or boxing. And now we're cutting to footage of Stipe MIOCIC walking in. He's wearing a suit, nice royal blue suit, royal blue / navy suit, white dress shirt. He's got a vest on, and he's got a sort of pattern red tie. Looks very sharp, very businesslike. He's got the handkerchief thingy in the pocket. Sean has asked me how my week was. It's pretty good. I worked the entire week, so and then I worked out this morning, so I'm a little bit tired from that, but everything was good, so thank you for asking. I hope you had a great week too, Sean, and everybody else who's here. Farzani, sorry if I'm saying it wrong. You're a big fan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining us. No, I was not on OnlyFans, so I don't know who you're thinking of. Okay, the Switch, a real firefighter. Yeah, absolutely. I really, think that's one of the reasons why Stipe is one of my favorite fighters, because he is a real firefighter. Rex is saying Wanderlei Silva was a great fighter in Pride. Yeah, there were a lot of great fighters that came out of Pride. I mean, of course, a lot of them were juiced, but I think, Fedor Emelianenko, amazing fights in Pride. It's kind of too bad he never really fought in the U.S. until he was past his prime. Is that Lion? Sorry, can't. Liam, thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. Natural fitness lifestyle. Glad you have a live. Okay, they're cutting to highlights from, I think this is from Silva and ARAUJO knocking their opponents out. So this should be an interesting fight. Sean, wow, you are so humble. I will join more of your lives now. Cool. Hope to see you guys here. Who is my pound for pound in the UFC? That's a great question. If we're going to go pound for pound, maybe we got to say Demetrius Johnson, because if you divide greatness by the number of pounds, Demetrius is in the smallest weight division, so that works in his favor, right? Have you guys tried this, by the way? They have nothing to do with this. They're not a sponsor. It's one of these drinks I just kind of discovered. It's not a drink. It's non-alcoholic. There's no alcohol in it, but they somehow use the hops to give it flavor. It tastes pretty good. It's like one of those sparkling water things. No calories. Okay, so it's Karine Silva from Brazil, making her way to the cage, just taking off her outfit. Farzma is saying their pound for pound is John Jones. Okay. Sean is saying no sugar. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, no sugar, 0 calories, no carbohydrates, no nothing. There's some vitamin C in here. It's got ashwagandha, L-theanine, and a variety of different types of hops, but it's not alcoholic. So, yeah. I don't know. If you're in the United States of America, I'm sure you can find it somewhere. What did I pay? Like $12 for an 8-pack, so it's a little bit over $1 per can. So I think that's a reasonable price. But I'm a big fan of those, like, Waterloo waters. Yeah, I wouldn't say I live off of those because, you know, but I probably drink at least one a day. What are my thoughts about Mike Tyson's loss versus Jake Paul? Well, I kind of broke that down in the pre-fight and post-fight, and I was saying I just feel like it was a staged event. So I think there's some sort of business move that Mike Tyson is trying to make with Netflix, and I think this is just part of the deal, because Netflix knows that if they put, you know, their first live boxing event streaming on Netflix, if they match Jake Paul with a big name, it'll actually draw eyeballs, and Mike Tyson is the perfect person to draw eyeballs, because that means real boxing fans just might tune in because it's Mike Tyson. Jake Paul fans aren't necessarily boxing fans at all, but all the Jake Paul fans will tune in because it's Jake Paul. He could do anything, right? He could throw pies at people and Jake Paul fans will tune in. So, I mean, smart move on Netflix part. I would assume that in return, whatever it is that Mike Tyson wants to do with Netflix, like I could see a 12-part biopic, you know, a series on Mike Tyson. It's perfect. You know, he could, if I were him, I would negotiate hard so that everything is in his favor in terms of controlling the content and getting a piece of the back end. But maybe I'll do a further breakdown on that. Okay, cool, Sean. Yeah, check it out. Damien Flores is saying hi. How are you doing? Damien, I can't quite see where you're from, but yeah, welcome. Angel, yeah, thanks. So I can't read that, but welcome to the live stream, UFC 309. We've got Vivianne Araujo versus Karine Silva, both from Brazil, fighting at flyweight. They just stepped in the cage. Sean says, oh, sorry. Farzma saying, thank you, I appreciate the compliment. Sean, I'm worried for Mike. He's been talking about death a lot. Yeah, I don't know if that's sort of a result of him, like, doing, as he said, the toad and all that other sort of hallucinogenic stuff. Hope he's okay, for sure. My boxing coach pointed out something about him, like, biting down on his glove or something. And when he asked about it, he said it was just a tick or something. I don't know. So there may be something off. I hope not, because lately he seemed to be doing well in this sort of most recent version of Mike Tyson. But yeah, for sure, I hope his mental health is fine. Jonathan, yeah, but he got to get Netflix to fix the buffering, right? I mean, I noticed the buffering problem during the Serrano Katie Taylor rematch fight. That's when it really affected me. But I don't know. Is it bad also during the main event? Because that would suck. All right, so we have Mark Goddard as the ref in this female bout. Just waiting for things to get started. Have I seen Neri Golhat fight? Not that I can recall, but I will check that out. All right, and we are underway with this female flyweight bout. Both women are fighting out of orthodox stance. Got nice high guards, high double guards. Silva opening up with some teeps and some kicks. But they look like they want to at least initiate with striking. Silva's got a slightly more bent legs and is moving around. Again, both women keep up a nice high guard. Always healthy to see. Kind of, as they say, feeling each other out a little bit. Silva missing with some jabs and right hands. Both women missing, to be fair. Front kick. Araujo connects with the right hand. Araujo seems to be a little bit more with the lateral movement as she circles around. Silva throwing some body kicks, but they don't connect. Silva with the jab, single jab. Silva just walking Araujo down as Araujo keeps circling around the perimeter. Women's briefly fall into clinch, but then push each other away and back to striking in the center of the cage. Silva coming with those nice straight kicks right up the center line, but they're not connecting. Silva with a calf kick that doesn't connect. Again, Araujo moving back and forth laterally, one side and then the other, and then circling around. Again, Silva tries a front kick that doesn't connect. Araujo circling around. Ooh, okay, looks like Araujo may have connected with a counter right hand. Silva again with a low inside kick. Silva with a single jab. Again, Silva seems to be the one pursuing Araujo. Araujo's the one that's circling away, tries to come back with a counter right. Both women throw low calf kicks. Farzma, I can't really answer those questions. A little too abstract for me. Okay, Silva coming with a high kick, doesn't connect. The main reason Silva's kicks aren't connecting is Araujo seeing them and just stepping away barely enough to allow them to miss. But I like how both women have nice fluid movement. They're using their rhythm well. Oh, and Silva shoots in, completely misses a takedown attempt. We've got about a little bit under a minute and a half. Araujo with the calf kick, still circling around, nice lateral movement. I think Araujo's game plan is just to move and then find her shots and find her counter shots rather. Araujo still circling around counterclockwise. Silva tries to come in with the big right hand, doesn't quite connect. Silva with the fake knee, inside kick. Oh, Silva connects with the right hand and a jab. She's overthrowing. Now she's got Araujo up against the cage in a tie clinch. Araujo circles out. Silva tries for the head kick. Doesn't quite connect. Again, Silva really overshoots her right hand, and Araujo sneaks in a counter shot. Silva with a straight kick right up the middle to the head. Doesn't connect. 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Again, a nice straight kick up the middle for Silva. Doesn't connect. Okay. All right, Sean, we'll see you in a moment. All right, so I will be right back because I've got to step away for a moment, but I will resume, or we will resume in a moment. Okay, so we've got round 2 underway of Silva versus Araujo. Again, Araujo still circling around the cage. Silva connects with the right hand, now has Araujo pressed up against the cage. Got an underhook. Araujo's got the wizard grip. Silva's still trying to press Araujo. Araujo's trying for wrist control and moving laterally along the cage, so she's no longer pressed up against the cage. They return to center cage. Okay, now the women are fighting at slightly closer range, so this might be interesting. Araujo's still circling around. Looks like she has she's got a little blood on her face, so I'm not sure what that's from. Oh, Araujo throws nice 1-2-1. Comes back with a big counter right hand. Silva's still going with those front kicks straight up the middle. Silva lands a couple of big right hands, shoots in for a takedown. Araujo's defending with a wizard grip, but Silva gets her down on the ground. Now they're sort of in bulldog position, but Araujo reverses it and's got Silva up against the cage with a wizard grip. Silva's trying to takes it the other way, goes around. Now Silva has Araujo back against the cage. She's got one underhook. Looks like she's fighting for body lock. Oh, she's trying to go for a back throw, but that didn't work. Oh, now Silva does get Araujo down on her back. She's in Araujo's full guard, and Araujo's trying to punch from the bottom. Punch Silva's head from bottom position. Okay, now Araujo has full close guard, and Silva's trying ground and pound. Araujo transitions to shoot for an arm lock. But Silva turns into it. Oh my goodness, she rolls over They reverse it again, but Silva's now, wow, great jiu-jitsu by both women, because Silva managed to escape that armbar twice. Now Silva has side control. Araujo is in bottom position. Silva can just kind of wait there or be patient. Araujo traps Silva's arm with her legs. Silva still has superior position here with side control. She's worked her arm out. It looks like now she's switching to north-south. She's got a Darce choke. So she's got one arm under Araujo's neck and the other arm grabbing her own bicep. Araujo's trying to turn out of it. But Silva's following her as Araujo turns. Now Araujo's trying to still turn. Almost depends on how, she lost the grip now. Araujo's in top position and Silva's on the bottom. So that was the risk of not getting that Darce choke. So now Araujo is trying to inflict some ground and pound with one free hand on Silva. And we have 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds left. It looks like Araujo is just going to maintain this position and there's the bell. So great round, great jiu-jitsu by both women. It does look like Araujo's got, I don't know if she has a broken nose. I don't think it's broken. It's just definitely bleeding. Sam is saying awesome work from both. Amazing match. Yeah, awesome work. Awesome jiu-jitsu from both women. Okay, Pickles, we're here to talk about UFC 309 or boxing. All bizarre comments like that you can go to another live stream and find someone to talk to. Right, so I'm not really listening in on the corner work, guys, but it does look like, I mean, Araujo's got a little more damage to her face than Silva. Not that we're scoring damage, but that was an excellent round. All right. Sure, Sean, if you want to do that. I don't know how to block, so I'm still kind of new to all this. If you want to block any non-boxing, non-UFC comments that are potentially insulting to either me or anybody else looking, that's fine with me. I don't know, is there something I need to do to give you that privilege, or can you just do it? All right, third round. Silva gets a body lock, takes Araujo down, but it's quite the scramble, and Araujo turns into... Now she's got top position and kind of a reverse Kesugatami position. Silva's on her back. Araujo has her one arm over Silva. Now Silva's on her back. Araujo stands up and walks away. The ref stands them both back up. And we're back to action on the feet. Again, Silva tries that nice straight front kick right up the middle. Doesn't really connect. Araujo comes back with a calf kick. I'm guessing both women... I'm guessing that ground exchange might have taken a little bit out of both women, so I think they're sort of catching their breath for a moment. Silva with good upper body movement, but misses with a wide overhand right. Araujo still the one that's moving around on the outside. She catches right hand and catches Silva's foot. Silva chooses to go down on her back. Araujo's just kicking Silva's legs. while Silva's on her back doing this. I guess Goddard's probably, yeah, and Goddard moves to stand them up. We're back on the feet, both women in the center of the cage with just under 3 minutes to go. Silva tries with a nice high leg kick that misses. Araujo with a body kick, which misses. Araujo with a calf kick. Araujo inside kick misses. Silva comes with a 1-2, connects. Another 2, meaning the right hand connects. Araujo still circling around, counterclockwise. Silva misses with her jab. Goes for the head kick. Goes to that front snap kick. Rear snap kick, both miss. Araujo extending your jab hand just way too far to connect, so more of just occupying space. Circles around, comes with a counter right shot. Silva misses inside. Silva misses with a calf kick. Tries a front kick, which Araujo catches and drops Silva to her back. Again, Araujo's kicking Silva's legs as Silva's in this position, and Goddard stands him up again. So again, Araujo circling around, comes back with a counter right. It's a very nice move to circle to one's right and then come back with a counter right hand out of orthodox stance. Again, Araujo comes back with that counter right hand. She's still circling to her right. Oh, and Silva connects with her right hand. Silva with a couple of kicks that don't connect. Again, Silva down on the ground on her back. Araujo's kicking her legs. Goddard says, now get up. So both women are throwing kind of single punches. They're up towards the cage. Silva's got Araujo's back towards the cage. She's trying for some knees, trying to get a body lock to no avail. She's got one underhook. Araujo's taking the wizard grip. Silva's trying to go for a single or a high C or something. That's not going to work just simply because Araujo's got that wizard grip. Silva trying some knees to the body. Silva's using her head well to press Araujo's head against the cage. Araujo reverses position, turns into a judo throw kind of, and gets Silva on her back right against the cage. Very awkward position because the cage is preventing the rest of Silva's bottom half from being flat, and that's it. So Araujo raises both hands in victory. I think that's appropriate. I think maybe Araujo got that one. Let's see in a moment. Who do you guys think won that fight? I think that was a great matchup. Now, Silva landed some really great right hands and whatnot, but the fact that Silva was on her back 3 times like this and Araujo was just kicking at her legs is not a plus in Silva's and so it doesn't work in Silva's favor. Tough fight to call. Winner, Sam says. Did Silva win 1 and 2? Very tough call. I think we have to give 3 for sure to Araujo, right? So it depends on how, I think it depends on how they call the second round. I think we give the first round to Silva, but They give it to ARAUJO, 29-28. So I guess they gave her rounds 2 and 3. That was a great exchange in the second round, though, with the all the jiu-jitsu on the ground. Amazing. Now they're cutting to the celebrities in the crowd, including Chuck Liddell. Sean saying, clap for the ladies. Good show. Definitely good show. Okay, so we're cutting to footage at the T-Mobile Arena for some reason. Okay, so now we're on a commercial break. What are they showing us here? Oh, they're showing us promotion for Pantoja. Future kid Khabib the GOAT. Yeah, Khabib definitely is definitely a GOAT, right? Hard to argue against him. He's undefeated. Oh, Kai Asakura. Right. Do you guys know who Kai Asakura is? He's one of the Asakura brothers. What's his brother's name? I can't think of his brother's name off the top of my head, but they're two sort of bad boys from Japan who fought in the Rizin promotion. Rizin is kind of the offshoot of Pride. It's the same guy. He just kind of rebranded himself as Rizin since I think he had a no-compete once they sold Pride to the UFC. So also on the card is this guy, Gary Machado. I guess that's December 7th. But the interesting thing is Kai Asakura is just coming straight over from the Rizin promotion to the UFC. Very interesting. And that he's going to fight for the flyweight belt. He's going to challenge Pantoja for the flyweight belt. So he kind of completely jumps the line. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that's right? Do you think it should be allowed to happen? Also on that card, Cyril Gane will be taking on Alexander Volkov. Bryce Mitchell will be taking on Kron Gracie. Oh, that's interesting because I wasn't sure what Kron was up to. Other than that, I don't recognize any other names. But yeah, Alexander Pantoja and Kai Asakura are headlining. Now, Kai Asakura and his brother are absolute superstars in Japan. They've really built themselves up. They've got their own channels and whatnot. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie. Exactly, Sam. I thought Kron was done. He looked completely disinterested in his last fight, so I hope he's had a come to Jesus moment or something and kind of reinvented himself as an MMA fighter. But that will be interesting. If Kron's not together mentally with his striking yet, it could be a short night. Okay, now we're cutting to some lovely footage of the Statue of Liberty. Now it's cutting to nighttime scene of Madison Square Garden with the Empire State Building and Chrysler Building in the background. It's beautiful. New York always looks wonderful about this time of year, especially Rockefeller Center with the Christmas tree lights and everything. Hello, Lugan Blue. Not sure how you say your name. Or is it Iguana Blue? Okay, guess up next we have Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig. I think Paul Craig is the guy that decided he was going to smear blue paint on his face, right? So they're fighting at 185, showing us a few highlights of Bo Nickel taking somebody down. knocking somebody down with an uppercut. Paul Craig looks like he's had his nose broken at least once, because it's kind of got that little curve to it. You guys think that Bo Nickel is a bit of a hype job, or do you think he deserves all the hype he's getting? So apparently, Bo Nickel, I don't know if he fought in other, well, I assume he has other pro fights, but is he 6-0 in the UFC or 6-0 overall? Oh, so it looks like Paul Craig is really into triangles from the bottom and some ground and pound. So this might be an interesting matchup. So we have Sean here, Future Kid here, Sam's here, Iguana's here. Who else is here? So now we're listening to, is it Megan telling us about Bo Nickel? And here comes Craig in his walkout. Looking nice and loose, just casually walking towards the cage. Paul Craig is getting ready to get dealt with by the cut man, taking his shirt off, handing it to his corner, taking off his track pants, hands that to his corner, socks, shoes. Not sure if that's yep, dapping up his corner. Now the cut man is applying Vaseline to his face. Sean, we live. Yep. Sean, who's next? We have Paul Craig from Scotland up against Bo Nickel. What do you think about Bo Nickel? Do you think he's a hype job? Or do you think someone with excellent striking skills can expose Bo Nickel? I think this will be an interesting fight simply because Paul Craig has that long, lanky build. Paul Craig is in the cage, getting kind of loose, kind of dancing around a little bit. It's good to see somebody in up spirits before they get into a fight. Everyone loves Bo, 100% hype. That's hilarious. Yeah, but I don't think it'll be Paul. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Here comes Bo Nickel making his way to the cage. Have you noticed that they're making all the fighters wear the same exact outfit? This kind of ugly, stripy, Venom black shirt with like weird white stripes. It's like a cross between camouflage and a zebra. Not the greatest design. Don't know why they did that. Now I can understand why some of these guys would want to put makeup on their face just to have something to be individual about. if the UFC is going to insist, like you can't even pick colors, everyone has to wear the same ugly uniform. That kind of sucks. It's not amateur sports; it's professional. Sam is saying, Bo can for sure grapple, but this fight might be an awesome watch. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, now Cutman House is applying Vaseline to Bo Nickal's face. Bo has, what's the coach from American Top Team? He's got him in his corner. Not sure who else he has in his corner. I just don't recognize him. But in any case, okay, he's kind of saluting the crowd, sort of. Steps into the cage. Joe Rogan is trying to give Bo Nickal credit for being a decent striker. I'm not so sure I agree with that, but, you know. Sean says, yes, Dana does not have good taste. If he was wrong for taking away their sponsors. Well, yeah. I mean, that was a way that some fighters were able to make, you know, steady money, even when they weren't fighting. So, yeah, I don't know how that's all going to work out. I would hope people are still willing to sponsor fighters, even if they can't get a badge on their fight outfit, although that's a main way of publicizing, right? And that's one of the main assets you have as an athlete to offer a potential sponsors. Hey, I'll put your logo on my whatever, on my gear when I compete. All right, so now Bruce Buffer is introducing the fighters. Yeah, it looks like if you're not someone super special, you have to wear the same standard ugly, like stripy design on your trunks or outfit. And it looks like they've really limited the color selection to black, blue, and yellow. I don't know. Yes, Sam's saying plus 750 is interesting. Sean, okay. Okay, so Bo's wearing the same ugly design, but in blue. Wonder if Paul Craig has something up his sleeve, or if he knows something we don't know. Okay, anyways, the referee is Dan Mergliato. All right, and the action is about to start. Both men fighting at an orthodox stance make their way to center ring. Bo is feinting a level change, like a jab to the body, or level change. Paul Craig is a little more bouncy on his feet at the moment. Both throwing a single jab and missing. Both switches to southpaw stance, while Craig remains in orthodox stance. Both men sort of lead jab hands are canceling each other out. Bo switches back to right stance and goes for a calf kick. Bo misses with a jab. Oh, Bo connects with the right hand to Craig's chin as Craig's moving back. Bo connects with a calf kick. Connects with another calf kick. Paul Craig is marching forward somewhat, tries for a head kick but misses. Both men back in orthodox. Bo trying for a jab to the body. Jab overhand right, misses. Paul with a jab and then inside kick, as Bo's back in lefty stance. Paul's making a lot of sort of feinting motions with both hands. Bo's coming with that overhand right. Kind of glances off of Paul. Bo with the inside kick that Paul checks. Paul goes for a head kick, doesn't connect. Now Bo's back in lefty stance. I don't know that all the switching is really going to be to Bo's benefit, but I think the reason he does that, I'm guessing, is because he wrestles as a right-handed person, so it means his right foot, right hand are lead. But if you're someone who's crossing over from grappling to striking, you really want to stick to one side till you get all the basics down first before you start being a switch hitter. Sean is saying, if Conor fought, he'd be wearing Irish colors. Yeah, well, it's like all the superstars get their own fancy-dancy special ring outfit. Paul connects with inside kick. Both switch back to southpaw, tries an overhand left, doesn't connect. Now both men's sort of jab hands are sort of canceling each other out a little bit. We got just about 2 minutes left in this round. Hard to call a winner at this point. Let's see if anything else happens. Paul tries a spinning move, which doesn't connect. Bo slings wildly with a left hand to the body out of southpaw stance, doesn't connect. Now Paul has an awful lot of weird sort of awkward upper body movements and with his hands. Let's see. Shelby, not funny. We're here to talk about UFC 309 or boxing, so if you have any racist comments, you can take it to somebody else's live. One minute left. Paul Craig's sort of being more the pursuer thus far. Oh, okay. Bo Nickel connects with a counter right hand, or counter left hand rather. Just over 30 seconds left. I think Paul has to set up his strikes a little better. He's got to lead with the jab or double jab. And he throws out his jab as kind of a feint, but it's not. It's to be an effective feint, you have to actually also throw one with bad intentions every now and again. Let's see. Okay, thanks, Sean. I appreciate the offer, and I appreciate you explaining how to do that. Still new to this. Okay, so now we're on the break. I'm cutting over to Bo Nickel's corner. Okay, sound is really low. And to be honest, I can't understand what the heck Paul Craig is saying, but he's having a full-on conversation with his corner. So, in any case. All right. Thank you so much, Sean. Appreciate you. Sam, probably 10-9 Craig. Nice distance control. Yeah, although I can see if they're deciding they're going to just give this to Bo, I could see they're just giving it to Bo just because he's the guy. All right, so now we start. Bo's in southpaw stance. From what I gather from what Paul was saying is his corners, he's just not intimidated by Bo. But if that's the case, he's got to pick it up a little bit. Okay, Bo just misses with the jab, misses with an overhand right. Goes for a calf kick. Paul's walking him down, throws a front kick, kind of shrugs at him like, you know, what's up? Paul throws an inside kick. Bo misses with a left to the body out of southpaw stance. A straight left to the body, that is. Both men throwing sort of feint jabs, canceling each other out. And then Bo rushes in with a jab overhand left, doesn't connect. Both men crash with leg kicks, canceling each other out. Paul throws a head kick, doesn't connect. Bo comes in with an overhand left, doesn't connect. Goes for a left to the body. Not so effective. Oh, Bo tries a counter. Overhand left. Craig comes back with a knee to the body. Both men still in that sort of feel-out mode. It feels like, where they're just reaching at each other with their lead jab hand and it's canceling each other out. Okay, now Bo switches back to righty stance. He's trying to feint and then come with an overhand right. Now calf kick. Paul throws 2 punches and then a head kick. Really walks Bo right across the ring. But I feel like Paul Craig needs to pick up his pace if he wants to get a decision victory over Bo Nickal. Okay, both men again, not very active here. They're just looking at each other, kind of throwing out their jab hands, but not connecting. Paul again goes for a head kick, doesn't quite connect. We got half the round gone now, with very little action. Again, Bo switches stance back to lefty. Paul doing some low leg kicks. Comes with a right uppercut that misses. Paul kind of reaching with his lead hand. Paul tries for the head kick and the body kick. Both don't quite connect effectively. Bo's showing a really wide left hand. Doesn't connect. Both men throwing jabs that cancel each other out. Sean is saying he's sure Bo has 1 and 2. I mean, if it's a close round, they're going to give it to the favorite, right? Which in this case is Bo. So, yeah. Paul Craig is only himself to blame for not picking the pace up. Right now, very little action. Both men just throwing out their jab hand. Paul goes for a head kick, doesn't connect. He's got to start, both men have to start putting combinations together. Paul throws a front kick that doesn't connect. It's almost like they're both waiting to counter each other, but then that's just going to lead to a stalemate. We've got a minute left in this round. Bo does a nice sort of feint jab to the body. Well, if Paul loses this fight, he's going to be mad at himself afterwards if he watches his footage and sees how inactive he is. Yeah, Sean, I agree. It should be common knowledge that if you're the not favorite fighter, you got to just go for it. You got to bring the fight to them, as I say. They're not. You're not going to get the benefit of a decision. Oh, Paul tries a body kick and then backs right up. So it's like he needs to put combinations together. So does Bo, really. But okay, 5 seconds left. Bo walks in, tries for an overhand punch. Misses. Alright, so it's kind of a boring fight, I would say. But in any case, yeah, I think Craig has to accept the fact that he's going to lose a decision. Can't understand what Paul Craig's corner is saying to him, but maybe one of you guys can understand it. Bo Nickal's looking kind of dejected on his stool. I don't know what's up with that, but did he assume that he was going to get an easy W here? I don't know. Alright, so the action resumes. Again, we got Bo choosing to fight out of southpaw stance. Paul is in righty stance. Paul looks a little bit more animated right now. He's bouncing around on his feet, doing a lot of sort of fainting motions. Same thing with Bo Nickal, though. Now both switch back to righty stance. Both men need to pick it up. Oh, Bo comes in with a big overhand right that misses. And a calf kick, a 1-2 and a calf kick from Bo Nickal out of righty. Now Bo switches back to lefty. Again, I don't think all this switching really helps Bo Nickal, but, you know, I'm not his coach. American Top Team is. Bo Nickal misses it with an overhand right out of lefty stance. Craig misses with a head kick. Yeah, Craig should be mad at himself tomorrow when he realizes how inactive he was. Now Bo just stands there perfectly frozen. I guess that was supposed to be a moment of humor or something as Paul walks around him. Okay, this is in sharp contrast to the fight we just saw. This is like a no-action fight. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Sean agreed. Please do not put sexual or racist comments. Respect the channel. Yeah, respect the channel, respect the other people here. You can always go find somewhere else to make those types of comments. Okay, now again, we got Paul Craig and ready, Bo Nickal and lefty, just canceling out each other's jab. Paul tries a 1-2. We have 3 minutes left. And I think we're hearing the whistles, which are basically akin to boo birds, right? Craig goes for a head kick. Oh, Bo comes with a big overhand left out of lefty stance. Yeah, 2.5 minutes left. Bo comes with a calf kick. Yeah, I think they're going to give Bo Nickal the decision here. Maybe they want a highlight finish. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, oh, Bo Nickal trying with a big overhand left out of southpaw stance. Kind of a windmill punch that sort of connects. It looks dramatic anyways. Now he's got Paul sort of up against the cage. They're both using a lot of feinting motions and not doing anything. So I think Bo Nickal ekes out a decision in a very sort of boring fight. Again, Bo comes with the overhand left to the body out of southpaw stance. Neither one really connects. Paul Craig has only himself to blame for throwing this fight away. Okay, with less than a minute and a half to go, I mean, Craig just never picked up the pace. Goes for a head kick. Just never picked up the pace and put combinations together because I don't know why. I mean, that's what he needs to do. Wow, so this is maybe pound for pound the most boring fight thus far. Both men just looking at each other and posturing. They both have less than a minute to go. Well, obviously, it's less than a minute to go. They're showing us some stats. I'm not really sure what the point of that is. Craig misses with a front first kick. Bo comes in again with an overhand left out of southpaw stance. Now he's just dancing away. We got about 30 seconds left. Yes, this happens. Why counterparties when they can't get their highlight finish? Yeah. I used to feel the same way about Anderson Silva. The crowd is chanting overrated. So yeah, nothing like a New York fight crowd. They're harsh, and I have to admit that since I sort of grew up in fighting in Brooklyn and New York, I got accustomed to a New York fight audience. And then it wasn't until I went somewhere else to watch fights that I realized I better shift myself and not be so rude. Like I was just used to yelling out, cursing, yelling whatever I felt like, trying to be funny, but nothing like a New York fight crowd. So overrated, that's hilarious. Exactly, Sam. That's like maybe the best part of the whole fight for me. Oh, now Bo Nickal's bending down, talking to Donald Trump. It's like, dude, that performance is not worthy of speaking to the president-elect. Sorry. This is dumb. He's having a conversation with Donald Trump. It's like, dude, you know. I wouldn't even do that right now. I'd be too embarrassed to talk to the... He's having this long exchange with Donald Trump. Man. Well, Bo Nickal will get this decision, but talk about boring. Yeah, snooze fest is over. Thank goodness for that. I mean, the most interesting thing Paul Craig did was put the blue makeup on his face. Daniel's saying something about him, Bo not being ready and that there's some learning to do. Annika is saying that Bo won 30-27. But it's like, you know, when it's such a boring fight, it's like the audience lost. Sino's asking what match is on now. Well, we just got done watching this boring snooze fest between Bo Nickal and Paul Craig, the Scotsman. It was just a boring fight. Stayed on the feet all the time. Neither man really connected well. Yeah, of course. They give it to Bo Nickal all 3 rounds. But I think it's hilarious that the New York crowd called him on it. And everyone's like going boo and overrated. The crowd is booing him. He's saying he feels great and that he dominated 15 minutes. New York's not having it. They're getting louder. And the reality is, these guys are all professional fighters that have been trained over a decade. I've been in this 2.5, 3 years. Oh, he's using I've only been doing this 2.5 years. These guys have been doing it for a decade, blah, blah. Nobody wants to hear that crap, dude. You're in New York City. Nobody cares. Oh my God. He's trying to justify his performance. Wish he should just own the fact that he sucked and say thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, dominated for 15 minutes. He is delusional. I agree with you 100%, Sean. Now he's like making the heart sign and blowing kisses to the crowd. Yeah, overrated, no joke. All right, then jumping to Kate Hudson in the crowd, Jordan Knight. Yeah, lots of big names. Oh, we got Glover Teixeira, Corey Sandhagen, that Rojas kid, Carl Anthony Towns. Don't know who that is. Okay. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, not one of my favorite people. All right, so now we're on commercial break. I guess this is a Canadian station or something because I'm getting Canadian ads or something. Anyways, yeah, so. Sean, you think you got paid 500,000? That'd be an awful lot of money for that. All right, so now we're cutting to nighttime footage of New York City from above. Okay, now they're sort of showing us the stats for Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Okay, so yeah, thank you for deleting that, Sean. I mean, I've really only done a few lives during fights. I think this may be my fifth. I'm not sure, but why do people like that even bother? Like, what's the point? Like, if you're not here to talk about fighting, why would you want to jump on a live and say something stupid? I guess that just sort of goes right over my head. Now we're jumping to footage of Chandler's highlights. Yeah, Michael Chandler, never bet a soundbite he didn't like. Sean, lots of crazy on the internet. Pervs are everywhere. They cannot find a real woman, so they just do this online. Okay, I mean, I believe you. Just kind of like I said, it goes 2 feet over my head because I cannot relate to that. Now they're cutting to footage. The footage from Oliveira Chandler 1. That was an amazing fight. Truly amazing. But I still feel like, as I said in my breakdown, I feel like Oliveira overall is a superior technician. Now, Chandler definitely has that one punch KO, potential, but that always comes with risk reward. So we'll see. I feel like Oliveira is more disciplined when it comes to his striking. He's more responsible defensively. Who do you guys have in this fight? Do you have Charles or do you have Michael Chandler? I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Chandler, but I have to acknowledge that. I'm definitely rooting for Charles Oliveira, but I feel like Michael Chandler always has that one punch crazy or one strike crazy KO potential. Yeah, Sean is saying Oliveira needs to keep distance and submit. I mean, he's just such a superb jiu-jitsu practitioner. That would be awesome if he can actually get the sub this time. Sam is saying Charles Oliveira is too much is so much fun to watch. Yes, definitely. And because he's well-rounded, right? And because he comes to fight. So, yeah, Bo Nickel, what do you guys think? Hype job? He showed me his striking game is not where it needs to be. Um, I don't think he should constantly switch stance. He's missing with his overhands for the most part. I mean, granted, he landed a couple, but they obviously weren't effective because he didn't inflict enough damage on his opponent. So he's throwing them a little too loopy. He should work on, learning how to throw a straight right. If he's right-handed, he should learn how to fight out of orthodox stance first. But hey, I'm not his coach. I don't know who Bo Nickel's striking coach is, but he mentioned somebody on Joe Rogan's podcast or on a podcast. He mentioned a former so-called boxing trainer out of New York City. And this guy is horrible. He's touted amongst MMA fighters as being a great boxing coach, but he actually is just he's a complete scam artist. He doesn't actually know what he's talking about. I'm gonna make another video maybe tomorrow about one of the dudes in Jake Paul's corner, who is also formerly used to be from New York, and is also just a complete snow job, like a complete liar about his background. Anyways, I don't know. Would you guys be interested in that? Sam is saying Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel's stock probably dropped a little. I would agree with you, Sam, 100%. Okay, so now Chandler's made his way to the cage. Just handed his clothes to his corner, giving everybody a hug. Steps up to the cut man to get the Vaseline applied to his eyebrows, forehead. Looks like he's trying to psych himself up. Sean is saying, I never want to hear about Bo Nickel again. That's awesome. Is that coach the same level as Manuel? Edmund, Ronda Rousey's old coach. Yeah, probably even lower level than Edmund, if you can believe that. Just a complete hype job. Like a complete liar hype job. Like, well, I'll tell you guys a little bit about it now. Well, we got some dead time before the fight starts. So, this dude, I'm talking, okay, so let's focus on like this so-called guy that's a boxing coach that Bo thinks is amazing. This guy calls himself Million Styles Fighting or something like that. Million Styles Boxing or Million Styles Fighting. Because I guess his theory is that he can take a million different styles of boxing and put it all together. Okay, so here's this guy's story. He's a heavyweight. He's a big guy. His sister was famous on, do you guys remember MySpace? I can't remember what her username was. Something to do with boxing, like Miss Boxing. And she had the most friends. That's what we had on MySpace? She had this huge number, like thousands of people on MySpace. Okay, so she's like known in the boxing MySpace community. And so she starts training at Gleason's gym. I don't know if she actually ever fought or not. I think she might have had like one amateur or white collar fight or something. But at some point, her brother, I can't even remember his name, but he's a big heavyweight guy. He's a big guy. He decides he's going to learn how to box. So, like an idiot, he walks into Gleason's gym, announces the fact that he's the next heavyweight champion of the world. You should know it. Just look at him. He's the next heavyweight champion of the world. Now, the guy is athletic looking, but he's just all talk. And so he enters the New York City Golden Gloves. He's obviously a novice because he's never had any fights. I didn't go to the fight, but the next day after this kid's fight, I asked one of my friends in the gym, oh, yeah, how did so-and-so's fight go? He goes, well, I don't know. You know, they Rang the bell, I turn around, and I heard a big boom, meaning this fool got knocked out. And that was it. That was his entire fight career. At some point, I'll remember his full name. I think his last name is Peters. His sister's name was Bernadette, I think. But anyways, I could look it up. Anyways, so fast forward, this guy decides to reinvent himself now as a boxing trainer. So he tries that for a bit in New York City, then somehow manages to fly to Thailand and become a boxing coach to MMA fighters in Thailand. So fast forward for me, I've moved to Los Angeles. I'm at Wildcard Boxing Gym. I cross paths with a fellow who's at Wildcard doing boxing, but we start talking. He also does judo, he does MMA, and he brings up this guy's name. He tells me this dude is now training MMA fighters boxing in Thailand. And he's like, again, a complete scam artist. Like he somehow got a car, crashed it, whatever, I don't know. Just insurance scam artist, something, and then just splits, like creates problems and then just leaves. So then I guess he's now made his way back to the United States, and lo and behold, Bo Nickel thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but this guy has like zero boxing knowledge. So it sort of shows, right? That guy 6, this channel is completely apolitical. I did mention Trump at the beginning of this live because they had footage of of Dana White walking Trump, Elon Musk, and apparently Kid Rock into the arena, and then they spent a lot of time with the camera on Trump and RFK Jr. and showed the crowd's reaction. Okay, in any case, these credentials are killing me. Yeah, okay, so now we're back to the stats for Oliveira and Chandler. And now we have Bruce Buffer with not the greatest jacket. Kind of unattractive. Not as unattractive as the ring outfits, but unattractive nevertheless. He's announcing the fighters. Yeah, Sean, now you understand why so many MMA fighters have the worst boxing. Yeah, because these scam artists, boxing trainers that can't make it in boxing figure they can somehow sneak into the world of MMA, which is what this other dude did with Jake Paul, right? I mean, because I don't consider Jake Paul a real fighter either. Copy? Mod me? Well, we got one mod. Sean's doing a good job. Somebody, Jim. Oh, his jacket's for Veterans Day? Really? I mean, that was last weekend. Okay. John Jones is 1. Did you fight in Los Angeles? Sam's asked me that. I did fight in LA. I fought upstate, up in Northern California once. I fought Nevada 3 times, New York a bunch of times. But I just trained a lot out of Wildcard and then up in the valley. Did John Jones win? Well, he didn't fight yet. Okay. Okay, listen, Dash, if you want to believe Jake Paul's a boxer, more power to you. What's up? We're watching UFC 309. We're watching the co-main event. Bruce Buffer is announcing Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Okay, so now they custom-made Charles Oliveira some trunks. Multicolored, blue, red, yellow. A little more interesting than those other funny, that other funny design they have that they're imposing on everybody. Where in Northern California? I think it was near Monterey. It was on this guy, this promoter's name was Jerry Hoffman. So it was in a small town, Northern Cali. Sean is saying, yeah, okay. I'll let you guys deal with that one. All right, so now we got Oliveira, Chandler, both men fighting out of orthodox stance, both men maintaining a decent double guard, just kind of sussing each other out. Charles throws a lead front kick, doesn't land. Michael's trying a lot of upper body movement. Charles connects with a lead right, not hard, but he does touch him with it. Chandler goes for a jab. Oliveira goes for a counter. Chandler lands a jab to Oliveira's forearms. Oliveira throws a 1-2 and a kick, and now a low kick. Chandler with a lot of upper body sort of feinting motion. He's trying to disrupt Charles's rhythm, or kind of disguise when he's going to strike. Charles misses with a low calf kick. Chandler misses with a jab. Just sneaks past Charles's ear. Chandler throws a kick. Chandler throws a jab to the body. Charles, maintaining a tight guard, comes back with a 1-2 and a rear kick and then a calf kick. Oh, Charles shoots in for a single. Gets Chandler towards the cage. That was a nice entry. And he takes... Oh my goodness, he takes Chandler down with kind of a judo throw. And now he's sitting on Chandler's stomach. He's got one of Chandler's legs hooked. Chandler's crossing his own legs. And Oliveira can just sit there on top of Chandler. Chandler's going to have to bear his entire weight. It looked for a moment that Oliveira was going to go for some type of leg submission, but you know, the way Chandler spun out underneath him, he's now just stuck. This would be a great judo pin if it was judo, but yeah, Chandler has his legs kind of crossed, even though Oliveira has his right arm hooked through one of Chandler's legs. And he's literally just putting all his weight on Chandler's upper body. I think Chandler's trying to hug Oliveira down. Oliveira's forcing Chandler's legs open now. And if he can work his way to pass what's kind of full guard position now, I think Oliveira's just being super patient. He's got top position now. Michael's head is right up against the cage, so there's nowhere for him to go. All he can do is rotate around. Chandler's keeping both legs crossed again now around one of Charles's legs. So it's kind of a modified half guard positions. Oliveira's now raising his hips and trying to shrug Chandler off to get that leg out of that grip. Chandler's trying to hit Oliveira's head from bottom position. Yeah, exactly. Gamer's saying Jake has fought one boxer, Tommy Fury, and he lost. Okay. He fought another boxer, but that guy was what I call a professional opponent. I also made a video about professional opponents, so anyways. All right. This is rough for Chandler because this is very energy draining, having to bear all of Oliveira's weight. We got about 40 seconds. Actually, so yeah, less than 40 seconds left in this round. Chandler's just sort of hanging on by figure fouring Oliveira's leg with his two legs. It's a smart move for Oliveira just to be patient, ride this position out, make Chandler very tired. So even though Chandler's keeping Oliveira from advancing, this is not a good look. We got less than 10 seconds now. Chandler's basically hugging Oliveira's head, so Oliveira can't do any ground and pound, and there's the round. So I think we give Oliveira that first round. Joe, thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate your generosity. Good to see you here. Um, and Dash was gifted a membership by Joe. Thank you so much, Joe. It's awesome. I really appreciate you helping this whole channel grow. Okay, so Oliveira's corner is calling for front kicks because they believe Chandler's pace is going to go down. Yes, thank you so much, Joe. It's really good to see you here. Interesting to hear what you have to say about this fight between Chandler and Oliveira. Okay, so the action is about to resume, guys. Let's see. Do you think Chandler can pull something off here? Thank you so much for your positive support. The live stream play-by-plays are awesome. I appreciate you, Joe. All right, so Oliveira's going for that low inside kick. Oh, calf kick. Nice hard calf kick. Just Oliveira's maintaining a nice high double guard. Chandler holds his hand slightly lower around shoulder level, but to his credit, he's active. Coming in with a jab, trying a straight right to the body. Chandler's moving around laterally, trying to use that, his upper body movement. Again, a jab to the chest. Oh my goodness, Oliveira puts 3 punches together, drops Chandler, gets him up towards the cage. Almost a replay of their previous fight where he dropped him. Again, now Chandler's pressing forward, double high guard. Oliveira's pressing forward, Chandler's running away from him, literally. But Chandler's got his back on the cage. Oliveira is just walking him down. Chandler tries to circle out along the perimeter. Again, Charles just walking him down patiently. I somehow feel like Oliveira's just confidence is growing. He kind of knows he's got Chandler where he wants him. Chandler's maintaining that upper torso movement. Charles lands a nice 1-2. These punches are going to take their toll. Chandler tries a right uppercut, jab. Chandler throws a left low leg kick. But Oliveira's just pursuing Chandler. He's got Chandler against the cage, throws a head kick. That didn't tickle. Now Chandler throws a counter, nice sneaky right uppercut, lands a knee on Chandler. Oh, Chandler throws a wild sort of Hail Mary overhand left. To his credit, Chandler's still trying to put punches together. He's maintaining his guard up, doing that upper body movement, which is exactly what a shorter fighter needs to do. Charles comes in for a takedown, gets it. Now he's got Chandler on his back right against the cage again. He now has Chandler in full mount. That was beautiful. Amazing takedown. He's got one leg laced through. He's got both legs laced through Chandler's legs. Just keeping his upper body close to Chandler. Chandler's trying to hit him from bottom position. And it looks again like Oliveira's just going to be super patient here. He's throwing in the occasional elbow. Easy Wick. Easy Vic. Okay. Wow, okay, so there's nowhere for Chandler to go because his head is right against the cage. His feet are towards the center of the cage. Charles now has him in full mount. Charles is lifting up his torso so he can come down with elbows to Chandler's face. Still not a good, obviously, Oliveira has a superior position here in full mount. He can just be patient and ride this out. Chandler's trying to throw punches to Oliveira's head. Again, Oliveira rises up. Oh, now he's switching to, looks like he might be switching to a triangle but he's coming down with elbows. Then back to his full mount position where he's got his legs laced through Chandler's legs. One advantage, you can do that if you have the longer legs. Okay. Ooh, some vicious elbows from Charles Oliveira to Michael Chandler. And then, again, being patient, he's trying to worm Chandler a little bit away from the cage to get some space, I suppose. But Chandler's worming his way back towards the cage. And now Chandler's just trying to hug Oliveira's head to prevent him from doing anything. Chandler's trying to bridge like crazy to shift positions. And now again, he's hugging. Chandler's got 2 underhooks on Oliveira, is just hugging his upper torso. Oliveira rises up. Doesn't quite get the elbow. Chandler's still hugging. We got 3 seconds left here. Big round for Oliveira. All right. This is an interesting fight. Yeah, so highlights there were Oliveira dropping Chandler with that jab right hand. Lands a nice left knee when they're by the cage, and then shoots in for his takedown that he sort of morphs into a judo throw. Yeah, I don't know what was up with the Netflix buffering last night. I started to notice it going off during the Serrano Katie Taylor fight. How about you guys? I mean, actually, that's when I really tuned in, was during. I didn't even watch more of the undercard. So, in any case, I wasn't sure at the time if it was my internet, but in retrospect, I realized afterwards, after reading the news, that it was, in fact, Netflix's issue. Okay, here we go with the 3rd round. Men touch gloves, both back orthodox stance in the center of the cage. Again, Chandler's still great conditioning. He's bouncing on his feet, trying to come in with a jab, trying to press forward, got that upper body movement. Oliveira's just maintaining a nice high, tight double guard and being very patient, looks like. Cool. Okay. All right, now we got Chandler moving around laterally around the perimeter of the cage. Oliveira connects with a little 1-2. Oh, Oliveira connects with a right uppercut. He's got Michael pressed up against the cage. Throws a kick. Michael's back is right on the cage, so he's got to try to get out. Michael's still circling, and Oliveira's following him around the perimeter. Oliveira throws a nice calf kick. Oliveira comes back with a 1-2 and then lands a nice hard shot, which again puts Chandler back against the cage. Throws a switch knee. Chandler comes back with a hook right hand, but Oliveira's just pursuing Chandler as Chandler's going around, like basically clockwise around the cage. Now Chandler's back is against the cage, and wow, Oliveira's just teeing off on him. Gets a body lock, it looks like. Oliveira's trying to get Chandler down on the ground. He's got the body lock. Takes Chandler down. Chandler's on all fours. Oliveira gets at least one hook in. No, he's got both hooks in. Takes Chandler's back. Right at the edge of the cage. He's now got the body triangle. Oliveira with the body triangle. Oliveira's back is against the cage, and Chandler is facing the center of the ring, or center of the cage. So Chandler's got the body lock and the the lockdown with his legs. Chandler's fighting Oliveira's hands, as Oliveira's just trying to extend Chandler's legs. And again, I think Oliveira's showing us that his patience here. He's not going to go crazy trying to fight for the rear naked choke, because obviously Chandler knows full well what Oliveira's up to. Chandler almost breaks free, and then now Oliveira's inflicting elbows to Chandler's head. Chandler's trying to cover up both hands, so then Oliveira hits him in the ribs. Now Oliveira's back to getting wrist control on Chandler, still maintaining that nice body triangle with the lockdown with the other leg. And Oliveira's just kind of pecking away, hitting Chandler in the body. Chandler's still trying to fight Oliveira's hands. Oliveira's throwing punches to Chandler's head. Guess he's just trying to soften him up a little bit. Joe's saying the Serrano fight was awesome. She got robbed. Yeah, Joe, I want to watch that again, because like that's when my stream started getting messed up. So hopefully I can watch the whole fight all over again. A lot of people felt that Serrano got robbed. It was, from what I saw of it live, it was an awesome fight though. So I really appreciated both women came to fight, and they were both super technical. All right, so we got about 40 seconds left with Chandler versus Oliveira in this third round, and Oliveira has just maintained this nice body triangle. He's now trying to sink in the rear naked choke, but to no avail. Okay, he's kind of lost the body triangle, but he's still got Michael's back. Still got both hooks in. He's just hitting Chandler in the ribs. 11 seconds left. He's not going to get the sub, but he definitely got this round, and Chandler's got to be exhausted. He's breathing pretty heavy. I don't know if he's talking to someone outside the cage, and there's the bell for the third round. Both men hug each other up, and Michael kind of pushes him off. To his benefit, they wound up in Chandler's corner, so he didn't have to walk anywhere. He can just sit right down on the cage. Blood coming from Michael Chandler's nose at this point. Joe is saying even Antonio Brown was live screaming for the actual fight. He was broadcasting from Twitter. Oh, okay. From the Jumbotron. Huh. Okay. Eddie's saying it's over for Chandler. He's got to be tired. But, I mean, I feel like he's lost all 3 rounds thus far, so. Oh, Sean, you gotta go? All right, well, it was great seeing you. I don't know if you're overseas or in the U.S., but I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you moderating. Thank you so much for your help. First time I've ever done that, so I appreciate you teaching me how to do that. Thank you, and hope to see you again soon sometime, Sean. Appreciate you. All right, so. All right, Chandler makes a sign of the cross. Both men step to the center of the cage, touch gloves, and right away the action resumes. Oliveira shoots a high head kick, shoots for a takedown to no avail. Chandler's coming in with sort of switch stance punches. Chandler tries a leg kick. Again, Chandler's moving around laterally along the perimeter of the cage. Chandler's just Oliveira's just maintaining his nice high double guard and picking his shots. Oliveira throws a 1-2. Chandler 1-2-3, 2-3. Chandler with a jab, but now Oliveira has him up against the cage and throws some flying knees that land. Chandler's throwing bombs off the cage, throwing kicks, but Oliveira's just kind of picking at him, shoots in for double switches. Chandler's got the wizard grip. Chandler tries to throw Oliveira, it doesn't work. Oliveira's got the body lock, both hands. He's behind Chandler now. Breaks Chandler down. Now Charles has Chandler's back pretty much. He's got one hook in. He's got one underhook. Looks like Oliveira's just working to get that other hook in. Chandler's fighting Oliveira's hands, of course. What amazing conditioning by Michael Chandler. I mean, to be able to get through that third round and then just come back with all this action in this round. Okay, now Chandler turns. He's on all fours, so he's giving up his back. Oliveira has at least one hook in. It's hard to see what's going on with Oliveira's hands. Oh, I think he's got both hooks in now, which is not good for Chandler at all. He's got one underhook. He's kind of cranking Chandler back. Okay, now Oliveira has going for the body triangle. This time, Oliveira and Chandler's heads are facing towards the center of the cage more, and their feet are towards the actual cage. So again, looks like Oliveira's just going to be patient here. We got half the round gone. We have about a little bit over 2 minutes. Oh, and Chandler rolls again onto all fours. Oliveira has one hook in, and looks like he has both underhooks. He's got Chandler's back. Chandler's in kind of a squatting position with Oliveira just kind of like hugging him. Chandler's fighting Oliveira's hands. Oliveira just has to kind of be patient here and feel what Chandler's doing so he can react to it. Yeah, Oliveira has two hooks in, one underhook. Now he's going to try to crank Chandler. Oh, now Oliveira's like basically piggybacking Michael Chandler. I'm not sure what Chandler's doing. He's on all fours. And Oliveira's just going for the rear naked here. Michael's on all fours still, while Oliveira's just trying to sink in that rear naked choke. He's got his right arm under. Oh, and Chandler fought the hands. It looks like he managed to escape this time. But now Oliveira goes back on his own back, so he's got Chandler lying on him. Oliveira has the full body triangle locked down. And Oliveira, or Chandler's just, of course, fighting Oliveira's hands, trying to prevent the choke from happening. Oliveira's just being patient and maintaining position. Looks like he's trying to kick Chandler every now and again. But now we got less than 10 seconds, so I think Oliveira's just going to ride this out. Both men are going to ride this out. Joe is saying Chandler's got a lot of heart, 100%. And he's got outstanding conditioning to be able to deal with all this and then come back. Okay, Henry's asking him for fast combos, and I don't know what Chandler said, something about saying something about he can't punch. I'm not sure if he hurt his hand or what the deal is. Oliveira's corner's telling him he's dead, he's dead. So Oliveira's corner's telling him, hey, he's going to come at you, which makes sense, right? Chandler has no choice. He has to come at him. Wow, this was a great fight, in great contrast to Bo Nickel and Paul Craig. Okay, both men come to the center of the ring, touch gloves out of respect. And here we go. So Chandler again. Upper body movement. He's bouncing around on his feet. Nice tight high guard from both men. Oliveira lead right and knee. And a jab. Staying right on top of Chandler. Chandler comes in with a jab to the chest. Jab to the body. Ooh. Something hurt him because he kind of stumbled there. Oliveira shoots in for a takedown. Misses. Oliveira connects with the right hand. Chandler's still somehow managing to bounce around and move laterally. Comes in with a 1-2. Remember, Henry Hoof was calling for fast combinations. Okay, Oliveira in southpaw stance is landing straight lefts, and oh, he lands a right hand. Oh, he's swinging for the fences, misses Oliveira, and they're both on the ground now, but it's almost as if Chandler has a superior position. He's banging away, ground and pounding at Charles. Charles got to do something if this is over. Okay, Charles manages to get up to a seated position. Chandler's in a on top position. He's got Oliveira right against the cage. Chandler's in top position. This is crazy how he turned the tide in this fight. He's in half guard. Chandler's just pushing on Charles Oliveira, doing ground and pound. Oliveira's got Chandler in his full guard. Chandler's just persisting with the ground and pound. Oliveira's hugging Chandler's head into neutral. There's still 2 minutes 45 to go. Chandler's got to throw everything in go chingazo is what Joe is saying. Yeah, I mean, he's doing the right thing right now. He's actually winning this round. Okay, now Oliveira has like a triangle lock on Chandler, but Chandler's in basically a kneeling position, so he's postured up. Oliveira's got that triangle with the arm, meaning he's got his legs looped around Michael Chandler's left arm and head. But, I mean, it's so obvious what he's doing, I don't think Chandler's going to fall for it. Joe's saying, yeah, lots of time left. Yeah, now both men are back to the feet. We got about 2 minutes left. Wow. This is such an outstanding fight. Okay, now Chandler's got Oliveira against the cage, and Oliveira's the one being pursued. Michael connects with a straight left. Chandler's waving him in for some reason. He's got his back to the cage. Oliveira shoots in for a takedown. He's got a body lock behind Michael. He's got one hook in. He's got one underhook on Michael. We got 1:15 left. I'm not sure why Chandler wanted that. Again, Oliveira seems to be going for the rear naked, and Michael is fighting his hands off. Now Oliveira has both hooks in. He's definitely got Michael's chin, but he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the rear naked. Got about 40 seconds left here. Oliveira's still going for the rear naked choke, but he's got both hooks in. He's got him backpacked. Michael's walking. Chandler is persisting, and he jumps backwards. Doesn't face Oliveira at all. Oliveira's maintaining the body lock and the lockdown. Chandler's up on his feet, carrying Oliveira. I don't know. Again, he tries to dump him on his back by jumping backwards. Oliveira's on his back shaking his head like it's not going to work. And Chandler taps him like kind of smiling or something. Okay, so, I mean, I think Oliveira won that. Wow, Oliveira jumps up on the cage, jumps out of the cage. Chandler's up on the cage as well. Not looking triumphant, however. Just gets down. Donald Trump is applauding, showing Elon Musk. Charles is doing a little bit of a prancing motion. I think he is walking around on the perimeter outside the cage, acknowledging the crowd, acknowledging the folks in the crowd. What did you guys think of that fight? That was an outstanding fight. Chandler almost got it done. And I'm wondering what type of injury he has, because he said something about, it sounded like he said something to his coach, Henry Hoof, that he can't fight or something. Now Chandler's walking towards the lead desk. Yeah, kudos to Chandler for coming back so hard in this round. I almost thought the ref was like tempted to stop it with all that ground and pound. I mean, just a little bit more, he might have had it. The fact that he was able to backpack Oliveira and just walk him to the center of the cage and then jump backwards, not once but twice, crazy. Grant is asking thoughts on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I actually made a couple of videos about that. I think it was a business move. I don't really consider it a fight. Now Chandler's sitting on the stool post-fight. I'm not sure what's going on with him. They're showing Donald Trump gesturing towards the cage. I think for sure Oliveira got this decision. Yeah, Eddie, 100%. Joe, yes, 100%. What a fight. Yes, unanimous decision for Charles. So, yeah, they got it right. But what a heck of a fight put up by Michael Chandler. That was incredible. Grant is saying it was just for the bag, but at the end of the day, a bag is a bag, yeah. Eddie, agree with you. That was amazing. So much better, like 180 degrees different than the Bo Nickel fight, right? So Joe Rogan's asking Charles Oliveira about his thoughts on the fight. So Charles thanks God, he thanks New York, he mentions his family, he mentions his new baby son. Eddie's saying it was an emotional roller coaster. Didn't know who to go for. Yeah, for sure. Charles Oliveira won by unanimous decision. Joe's saying, you could tell from the first round that Tyson was pulling his punches, and then he gassed after the second round. Paul admitted to carrying Tyson for the remainder of the fight. So Charles says, hey, whatever the UFC wants, he's ready. Grant is asking, who do you have in the main event? I got Jones. I mean, I'm rooting for Stipe, but it's hard to bet against John Jones. Alright, guys. Yeah, Eddie says same. I'm going to step away just for a moment while we have a brief intermission, so maybe you should do the same too. I need to re-up on another drink here and everything, so I'll be right back in 1 moment. Oh, hang on. Now Joe Rogan's interviewing Michael Chandler. Oh, Michael Chandler is doing this whole "Are you not entertained" thing. I don't know. He's a little too dramatic for me, but that's him. Grant is saying, or as asking, do I think Johns is the GOAT? No, I don't. I actually made a little short video about that, but I mean, I think we gotta think about people like Fedor, Royce Gracie, Georges St. Pierre, Khabib. Okay, Kazuki Sakuraba for sure. I mean, we could go on and on, but John Jones is not the GOAT of MMA. I mean, he's perhaps the greatest heavyweight or greatest UFC fighter of, this era, but of all time, no. Ah, we see Tom Aspinall in the crowd. How interesting. That's so funny. Okay, now we have Michael Chandler walking up to President-elect Donald Trump. Shaking hands. Okay, so I'm going to step away for a moment. I will be right back. Did Stipe win? That fight hasn't come up yet. It's about to happen. Junko Ohashi. Who do you think takes that belt from him? Meaning John? I mean, Aspinall does have a chance, right? Alright, I will be right back, guys. Go get a drink if you want a drink or a snack. All right, how are you guys enjoying the fight so far tonight? That Paul Main was outstanding. Made up for what a stinker that Bo Nickel was. All right. Eddie's telling us, I missed what you said before, Eddie, but you said that Stipe is really the GOAT. Well, Stipe has weathered the test of time in terms of defending that heavyweight belt so many times. Oh, darn. I didn't intend to drink this. I thought this was a water. Darn it. Oh well. It's kombucha. My fault. All right. Joe is saying, I always said Fedor in MMA for sure because of his record against high competition over 2 decades. Yes, for sure. Fedor in his prime, it's hard to argue that he's not a GOAT. Plus, he was always undersized, even in the Pride FC against all those. I can't really see. What you're saying there, Joe, but yeah, Fedor for sure. Brother, somebody Eric is saying God loves you. Cool. Thank you for sharing the good news with us. Okay, so now we're cutting to, promo footage of John Jones. So I know Oliveira won by unanimous decision, but Chandler came back really hard in the 5th round and almost turned the tide, but not quite. All right, now we're going to promo footage of Stipe. Showing all of Stipe's highlights. Pretty crazy, though, that we always need subtitles for Stipe, even though he's speaking English, right? You notice on the UFC embeddeds that they always put the closed captions on for Stipe. Good news, it was a good word play. That was a good word play. Okay. The thing that scares me the most about Stipe in this position is just the layoff and how he lost his last fight, which was getting KO'd pretty brutally by Francis Ngannou. The one question for John Jones is, how will his conditioning hold up now that he's moved up to heavyweight? Sino is saying Stipe had too many shots to the cranium like Holyfield. Yeah, I mean, only he and his camp know really what his state at this point is. Okay, so I guess we're about to get started with this. Joe is saying, you met Fedor once? Whoa! When One Global had their gym over in Chatsworth back in 2014. Very humble and polite. Oh, that is so cool. I remember hearing about that gym. Wasn't it like Russian owned or something? Or Russian mob owned? Just kidding. Yeah, I remember hearing about that gym. But that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, Fedor is actually, I mean, he's definitely one of my heroes in combat sport. Seems like a super nice guy. Seems like he just, even when he was like at the peak of his career, he just liked to train old school style. Remember, I love to watch footage of him training in these like little shacks off in the middle of nowhere and just kind of doing his road work out in the woods and all that stuff, like just basics, none of this like hyperbaric chamber, red light therapy stuff. I don't think he had a recovery room either. All right, so Stipe is making his ring walk. Joe is saying, yeah, the Russian crime syndicate was definitely doing some shady business out of that place. Okay, yeah. Um, Hopefully they didn't make too many people disappear, huh? But, I don't know what it is about boxing gyms or MMA gyms, but they always attract that aspect. Because there was this gym out in Queens, New York that I used to train at that was Korean owned. I think they might have called it K1 or something. Um, and it was a nice enough gym, but I know for sure that part of the reason they had boxing there was these guys actually used the two boxing trainers as de facto bodyguards when they would go drive to Atlantic City to, I don't know what they were doing, drop off money, pick up money, do something. But yeah, it was just, and then finally the place got shut down because these guys got, I'm guessing they had to go to Club Fed or something. I don't know. But anyways, I think it was called K1 Boxing in Queens. And for a minute, they actually were legit into the whole amateur boxing scene in New York. They hosted one of the Golden Gloves, or they hosted some boxing tournaments. But yeah, they were connected to the Korean crime syndicate. All right. Is it Rodrigo? Donald Trump, president. Yeah, Donald Trump is being mentioned because he's in the crowd at this UFC 309 fight, but just so you know, Rodrigo, this is an apolitical station, or apolitical channel, officially. All right, Sino 7. Thoughts about Dana wheeling out the old head Stipe and Weidman struggling for talent at top level. A high barrier for entry. I don't know. Well, wasn't sure what was going on with Stipe during that long layoff. I would love to hear from him. What were his thoughts during that time? Dana needs a big name for this. This is New York City, Madison Square Garden. If he's going to put John Jones in there, he's got to put him in there with a name, right? And sadly, Weidman's fight fell apart literally, I guess, today. Something happened to his opponent. It makes sense, though, to throw Weidman on the card because he's from Long Island, so it's close enough to be local. Imagine Stipe wins a belt and he challenges Tommy so he can hand off the belt to the next generation. Yeah, that's an interesting theory. I don't understand why John Jones just has already said up front, I'm not going to fight Tom because he does nothing for me. I don't know. I couldn't listen to John Jones's long-winded explanation about why he wants to avoid Aspinall, but, whatever. Sachin is saying, I'm predicting a Stipe TKO. I'd love to see Stipe win this, but I just don't know what kind of Stipe we're going to see. Are we going to see an aged Stipe in there? Are we going to see a damaged Stipe in there? Stipe in the ring now. Yes, John is making his ring walk. All smiles, of course. Guess he's hugging up his brothers and his dad. Continues his walk towards the ring. Stops at the cut man. Starts disrobing. Joe is saying Dana White was keeping Stipe on ice, when Francis was still champ. He didn't want to give them the trilogy like Stipe deserved. True. I mean, really, they were one-on-one against one another. Yeah, great point, Joe. I mean, I don't know. Has anybody heard anything that Stipe said about that whole time period? Did Stipe say, yeah, I really wanted that fight, or no, I just wanted time off? I mean, he's never explained anything. I was wondering for a while, had he de facto decided to retire? Eddie is saying Stipe is just too old. I think he's going to lose. Well, I think if it were to go to a decision, they're going to give it to John, because John's like, you know, John's the money bag, just like Conor McGregor's the money bag, but we'll see. Okay, so now Cutman House is putting the grease on John Jones. By the way, Joe, do you notice how a lot of these UFC cutmen have no clue on how to wrap hands? Because they do it backwards. So you're always supposed to go from inside to outside towards the pinky, right? But you see these guys doing it and they're going the other way when they wrap hands. So I'm like, why is it that they're so ignorant about that? Why is it that UFC cut men have no clue how to use the end swell? That thing drives me crazy, Joe. I mean, it's just basic stuff for boxing. You gotta grab the back of the boxer's head, you gotta grab that end swell, and you gotta press the heck out of, you know, the swelling up here, or especially the mouse under the eye. And it freaking hurts like, you know what, but you gotta do it. You gotta get that blood out of that pocket here or here. Otherwise, your eye could just swell shut, and then, you know, you get the fight stopped, not based on a cut, based on the swelling. Joe's saying, yes, Stipe was saying all those 3 years that he was waiting to get a rematch against Francis, but was denied. Okay, well, that totally sucks. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's because Dana was having a lot of trouble with Ngannou at that time, and Ngannou was being difficult. Who knows? I almost feel like they could have thrown Stipe something else in the interim if he was wanting to fight. Okay, so Bruce Buffer's making the announcement. The referee is Herb Dean. Okay, Sino saying thoughts on Dana going to the old style glove. They were trying to benefit Jones. We see eye pokes. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know if it was just that's so interesting. I don't know. You know, having never tried on either type, I couldn't tell you like does one actually feel better than the other. I don't know what the other fighters thought about it. Let's hope John Jones doesn't do his eye poking thing. All right, and Bruce Buffer with his catchphrase. So now he's announcing Stipe. Interesting that Stipe is coming in the heavier guy. He also looks leaner. So Bruce Buffer needs to shorten his intros. Yes, Sachin. He's not his brother, right? He's not Michael Buffer, but I mean, I know MMA fans love Bruce Buffer, but did you guys know that Bruce Buffer used to do ads for New York Lotto? Check it out. See, maybe they're posted on YouTube somewhere. It's kind of funny. All right, now Bruce Buffer is introducing John, who's kind of skipping back and forth in the cage. Seno saying, you streaming the match or bought the pay-per-view? No, I'm just streaming it. Did not buy the pay-per-view. It's kind of weird because John has a bit of a dad bod thing going on with the belly. But, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's like his gut is hanging over his shorts. So, anyways, not a bodybuilding contest, but it's kind of weird that he's got a higher percentage body fat. And, yeah, he weighs about 10 pounds, supposedly weighs about 10 pounds less than Stipe. So, here we go, guys. Getting underway, both men touch gloves. MIOCIC is fighting orthodox, and John is choosing to start out in southpaw stance. Right away, John connects with the right hand, or left hand rather. Stipe bouncing around on his feet. Both men's sort of jab hands kind of canceling each other out. John shoots for a rear kick, doesn't land. Sounds like the crowd is chanting Stipe. Again, but Stipe is circling around. John lands an inside kick. Joe saying, speaking of Enswell or lack thereof, did you see how Bivol's corner didn't have an Enswell? I was using a round what? I didn't know that, Joe. I'll have to check that out again. They were doing the same thing like Mike Tyson's was with Buster Douglas. Are you serious? That is pathetic. I don't understand those. Like, how could you show up to a fight without an Enswell? Oh, Jones gets an Osotogari against Stipe, gets him down on the ground, right at the cage. That's basically, Osotogari is basically a basic judo throw. It's a leg sweep. Jones in top position. Stipe's got him in full guard. Stipe's trying to strike from bottom position, but that's just a bad position now. Stipe is maintaining half guard, but Jones is just trying to rain down elbows on him. Stipe needs to create a scramble and get the heck up, that's for sure. Oh, goodness. Jones throwing hard elbows to Stipe's head, then punching him in the midsection. Oh, he's landing multiple hard elbows to Stipe. Looks like the commission's also taking a close look from cage side. We're at 2-minute and 30-second mark, so now Jones is standing up, still raining down elbows on Stipe. Okay, now, gosh, Jones is past Stipe's guard. Stipe's trying to get up, but Jones forcing him back down. Landing heavy elbows to Stipe. 6, 7. Wow, Stipe manages to evade. He's trying to kind of hug or hold Jones's head. He's got one of Jones's leg in kind of half guard. This is just not good for Stipe. Sachin Singh, I was wondering who Gary was. You mean Ian Gary? Oh, Stipe just landing hard elbows. Still. Such a superior position for Jones. He can just be fairly patient and just not let Stipe get up. Stipe is trying to work his way. Now got Jones in full guard. Joe is saying doesn't look good. The end may be near, yeah. Stipe now has full guard, but Jones is just continuing with his ground and pound from that position. Well, Joe says, well, Jones did say he was going to use those 12 to 6 elbows in this fight. Interesting. Okay, so now Jones has passed the guard on the other side. He's in side control. Stipe just has to survive this, hopefully. Jones, again, raining down some elbows from side control. Trying to get an overhook so he can land more elbows to the side of Stipe's head. And the bell goes, and that's it for round 1. Big round for Jones. But worse yet, Stipe just took a lot of damage. Looks like he has a cut on his cheek. But it's really more the blows to the head that worry me. Okay, Stipe's corner is just encouraging him to breathe. Stipe's corner is telling him to move a little more on his feet. Sachin is saying Jones will tire later. Be interesting to see. He is carrying around a lot of extra weight. Okay, both men back in the center of the cage. Both men fighting out a righty stance now. So Stipe opens up with a couple double jabs. Stipe still holding his ground, both men not being too mobile. Stipe kind of trying to bounce just a little bit and move around laterally. Jones just kind of following him. I think one of Jones's greatest assets is he is pretty patient. Jones throws a combination but doesn't really land. Oh, and Stipe threw a combination, didn't land. Jones lands a decent jab. Right jab by Stipe. The last punch did land. Now both men advancing forward slowly. Jones switches to southpaw stance, so now their lead hands again are canceling out. Jones again with a body kick out of southpaw stance. Now Jones switches to righty stance. Nice slip by Stipe, but Jones lands a jab again. Stipe goes with body shot right hand. Puts a few punches together. Stipe with the right hand to the body. Jones again in southpaw stance. Again, both men's lead hands are canceling each other out. Stipe's moving a little more laterally, and Jones is following him around. Eddie is saying John is a vicious psychopath. Okay. All right, again, both men's lead jab hands canceling out. Both men pretty stable. Stipe circling a little bit. Jones follows. Again, jab hands canceling out. They're playing that sort of touchy game. Patty cake game, whatever you want to call it. Stipe tries to turn that over into a jab. Both men throw inside kicks, cancel it out. Jones throws another inside kick. Jones throws a straight left to the body. Stipe misses with a straight right. Jones lands a jab. Stipe again slips, but Jones gets that tie clinch and throws a knee. Stipe misses with his 1-2. Jones now back in orthodox stance. Nice slips by Stipe, but he's got to come back with something. Stipe throws another double jab right hand, which lands. Jones throwing a jab to the body out of orthodox stance. Now Jones back in lefty stance, and the men's lead hands are canceling each other out. Eddie says Joe is the PDD of MMA, LOL. Hopefully not, but in any case, again, Stipe steps in with a right to the body, left to the head. Doesn't really have any effect. Stipe circling around. Jones is still in southpaw stance, so their lead hands will cancel out. Ooh, Jones throws a nice head kick. Still in southpaw stance. Jabs are canceling out. Jones lands a decent jab. Inside leg kick by John Jones. High head kick. Body kick by Jones. Again, he's in southpaw stance, so their jabs are canceling out. Stipe advances with a left hook right hand. Jones just kind of runs away. There's less than 30 seconds left in this round. Jones tries his spinning back kick, doesn't land it. Joe is saying, "You're right, I saw that video of him at the Comedy Store acting really funny with the guy he showed up with." Hi, Matthew Jones. Good to see you. I never saw that video. So okay, and there's the second round. So again, it's hard to give that one to Stipe. I think Jones is now up 2 rounds. Even though that was a closer round, it's hard to give it to Stipe. Hello, whoever just joined us. Well, it sounds like John's corner's calling him to use the kicks to open things up. Do I know which is the oldest language? And Joe is saying Sumerian. I honestly don't know. But I would say Sumerian is a good response. Okay, here we go with the third round. Both men in the center of the cage. John lands a nice jab. Stipe slips the next one and advances forward. Now he's throwing more volume punches. Tries with a hard right, but John just literally runs away. They're back in the center of the cage. John with a nice left hook, nice jab. Stipe almost slips that one. Stipe tries a nice right uppercut, tries a 1-2. Left hook, right hand, but again, Jones runs away. Jones now in southpaw stance, tries a reverse punch. So it's Tamil. Okay, so Tamil from... Sorry, okay. I'm going to say something politically incorrect. That used to be called Ceylon. I don't know what is it Sri Lanka? Is that where Tamil is from? Anyways, Joe's saying it appears that John Jones is going to stick and move and going for it all when he sees his opening. Jones now back in orthodox stance, lands a nice lead right hand. Stipe lands a couple hard shots, but now John has him up against the cage. John has one overhook. Stipe has the underhook. John tries a couple knees, but Stipe circles off the cage. Again, now John is in southpaw stance and their jab hands are canceling out. Tamils from India and Sri Lanka. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. All right. Eddie is saying, yeah, tire out Stipe. Okay, again, jab hands canceling out. Ooh, John lands a lovely jab from southpaw stance. Stipe is trying to roll under and come back with counters. I think his corner told him he needs to close the gap, which is absolutely true. So he's got to do that by starting out with a jab, though, not just rushing in. And now in southpaw stance, John knows that that jab will cancel out. So really, Stipe, if John is in southpaw stance, Stipe has to create angles. Now John is back in righty stance. Stipe slips that jab well. John is just kind of showing him a punch, and then he shoots out a nice hard jab, which lands. Stipe comes with a hard right hand. Stipe sort of circling away a little bit. That's kind of not what his corner wanted him to do, I don't think. He makes a nice slip move and then tries a hook right hand. The man almost fall into a clinch. What am I watching? We are watching Stipe Miocic versus John Jones, UFC 309. Eddie's saying, but Stipe looking really good for his age. Wow, Stipe is doing great. What are we watching? We're watching MMA fighting. We're not watching boxing right now. So Stipe with a 1-2. Stipe kind of taking small steps backwards. I don't think that's what his corner wants him to do. We have a little bit over a minute left, and John Jones lands a nice straight left out of southpaw stance. Right now, it's a shutout for John Jones. Stipe tries putting some punches together to no avail. Tries coming back with a counter right. Oh, lands a nice short left hook on the inside. Now Jones is back in southpaw stance, so their lead hands are canceling out. John throws a nice high head kick. Oh, and Jones drops Stipe to the ground, goes in for the kill, and that's it. Herb Dean waves it off. Wow. Jones does his little dance in the center cage. I could do without that. Holy cow, he just really dropped him hard. Amazing. So Jones just celebrating on top of the cage, gesturing to the crowd and whatnot. Jones got that one punch drop on Stipe, and then that was that. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fully scripted. Agreed. I did make a couple of videos about that. Joe's saying one thing about Stipe is he always comes in excellent shape to his fights. Absolutely true. Okay, so let's take a look at the replay. John comes in with that spinning back kick, hits Stipe in the body and drops him, and that was that. He threw it from pretty close too, so that must have really hurt. Well, for sure. Then while Stipe is on all fours, Jones just opens up with his ground and pound. And Herb Dean waves it off immediately. Sachin is saying Stipe should retire. Eddie is saying, damn. Joe's saying, just as I said, Jones was sticking and moving around, waited for his opening, and then went for the kill. I wanted Stipe to win, but life's not fair. Yeah, I wanted Stipe to win too, but if I had to bet money, I would definitely bet it on John. Eddie's saying right on the dot, Joe. Eddie says, I'm so sad. Yeah, I was definitely rooting for Stipe, but that's how it goes. Okay, Joe says Jones did a spinning back kick, like Master Benny the Jet. Yeah, exactly. The only difference, I think, maybe that Benny can do it like jumping, which is like crazy. Anyways, Sino says kind of lackluster fight in my opinion. Well, it wasn't action packed. It wasn't as exciting as Chandler versus Oliveira, but I mean, neither one of these guys are that type of fighter, I guess you could say. Okay, guys, so we've been on now for about 3.5 hours. Um, Hope you guys had fun during this live. Let me know your final thoughts because we're going to wrap this up. I'm kind of beat just from, I don't know, sparring 10 rounds earlier in the day. Um, Eddie's saying he made it seem like he would never throw that kick, and then he does. Yeah, exactly. He comes up with these sort of high risk movements that seem to come out of nowhere, like flying reverse knees or that spinning back kick. Sachin says Tom will enter the octagon. Let's see. Now they're showing John Jones highlights. Ooh, landed a nice straight right. I mean, that's crazy. That spinning back kick is crazy. I mean, such a high risk movement, but I mean, this is what sealed the deal for John Jones tonight. Jello says, excellent fight coverage as usual. Thanks so much, D. You are so welcome, Joan. I really appreciate your generosity and helping me grow this channel. You've been instrumental. I appreciate all the memberships and all your comments and all your support. Thank you, thank you. Sino7 is saying, Stipe looked like he had ring rust. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a big question mark. He just had so much layoff. I don't know how badly damaged he was by Francis. Thank you so much. Joe just gifted another membership. I really, really appreciate you, Joe. You are awesome. So welcome to our channel, to our new member. Is it YR? YU? You? Let me see what... So Joe's being a little bit evasive. So he is basically saying he's going to sit down with Dana and sit down with Hunter, and they'll figure out what they're going to do next and quote unquote give you guys what you want. John just thanks Donald Trump for being here. Now he's doing his weird dance. I don't know if that was his imitation of Donald Trump doing a weird dance. Okay, Eddie Vick is saying, thank you for streaming. Thank you so much for joining us, Eddie. Thank you, everybody who's joining us. We got 14 people on. Thank you guys all for joining us. If you haven't not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to Hamaguchi Fight. Hit the notification bell so you know when we're on live or when I post a new video. If you want first dibs on all the content, make sure you join as a member. It's $2.99 a month. And you get early access to all the long videos and some of the short videos. Now Joe is talking to Stipe. So Joe is asking Stipe what his game plan was. I honestly can't understand what Stipe is saying.
Do you have a thought from now, like as to what happens next? Are you going to continue?
Sino is saying fight Aspinall.
I'm done. I'm hanging him up.
Oh, Stipe just says he's done. I'm hanging him up.
You're the most accomplished heavyweight of all time.
Wow.
It's been an amazing ride, and thank you for everything. Thank you. Stipe Miocic, ladies and gentlemen.
So Stipe. Wow, what an understated, understated retirement announcement. And John Jones hands his belt to President-elect Donald Trump. Interesting. Sachin says, thank God. Okay. Not sure what we're thanking God about, but Sino says, Tulsi and Elon, there too. I'll laugh my ass off. Yeah, the whole squad, yeah. For sure. Okay, let's see if we can hear. Oh yeah. John Jones shaking hands with Donald Trump, with Dana White, with Elon Musk, with Kid Rock. I mean, here in the moment, he's at Madison Square Garden. It'd be interesting to be the fly on the wall for that conversation. So interesting. Anyways. Oh, now Donald is talking to Joe and the broadcast team. All right. Now, for whatever reason, John is dancing to some, what is that? Mexican music? Very strange. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it an evening. Thank you so much. This was a really fun live. I'm glad you guys joined us. Again, please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell because apparently the algorithm does not necessarily serve up my videos to people even when they subscribe. So be sure to hit the notification bell. And as I said, if you want sort of early access and priority in terms of a reply to your comments, definitely consider joining the membership for $2.99 a month. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will see you the next time. All right, Eddie, Sino, Joe, everybody who's here, I really appreciate you guys. I'll see you soon.